the final topic, which is the main topic. And I don't want you lot in the comments lying like
Or
you
me.
was on my Facebook page yesterday.
They're gonna lie.
Lies. Yeah, lie to myself. I'm only joking. I'm only joking.
Oh, hold on. Can I just say that Marcia has put no? I'm just saying. Michelle wouldn't. Oh no, I wouldn't forgive. What do you mean?
You thought she was defending you?
I thought you was back there, Marcia.
Michelle tried to read that. Yeah, let me read it
Shout out to
myself.
Marcia. Big up Marcia.
Michelle tried to redeem herself.
Yeah, Marcia's coming with the real, man. Marcia's coming with the real.
She's too real sometimes.
Oh,
Stop,
man.
Marcia.
Right. So
Marcia's getting a phone call after this.
So the main topic for tonight. Now listen carefully to what I'm gonna say. Can you be truly happy single? I'm gonna say it again. Can you be truly happy single? So not can you be happy single? Can you be truly happy single?
Truly.
Okay. Now, I posted this on my Facebook yesterday. In fact, let me see if I can.
That doesn't mean people were lying because they were saying answering a particular way.
Michelle, come on. It's social. You know what? I'm going to give you the perfect example. Somebody posted in the Mass Appeal podcast group, which you lot should all be in, by the way. So please join that group on Facebook, the Mass Appeal podcast group with a 2 on the end. Somebody posted a picture of, I think was it Triple S, a wedding ring. And the ring, how much was the ring? $40?
$48.
And
No thanks.
And he said, if your man came to you and proposed, and this was the ring, would you get married? All the comments from the females were yes, because money, this, money that, money this, money that.
There was about two that said no.
I posted the same thing in my stories, so anonymously on Instagram, and I created a poll. In the poll, it was 55% said no. No, 55% said yes, and 45% said no.
Right.
So when it's anonymous, people tend to tell the truth,
right?
As opposed to when you can see the person who's talking.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So when I say lying, I'm just saying that
you're being economical with the truth.
Yeah, and also people who aren't happy, even if all those people tell the truth, people who aren't happy single potentially wouldn't post and say it because for some people it's almost like shame. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, okay.
Why do you look confused, Michelle? If people are unhappy single, are you really going to type in a status and say, yeah, I'm depressed, I really want a man, I'm not happy with my current situation, help, plenty of fish isn't working, you know what I mean?
I don't know if they'd go that far, but
do you know I've never been on the site?
You're not going to say that. You're not going to say that. So
been on what? Plenty of fish?
Yeah, never been on it. I don't even know what it looks like.
Listen,
Plenty of fish.
from my understanding,
it's a website. It's
like a dating site. From my understanding, Plenty of Fish, it's like, you know, when you think about clubbing, think about clubbing in Birmingham.
Oh, so you just go into Plenty of Fish and you just pull.
Think about clubbing in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Plenty of Fish is like Sugar Sweet.
Oh, Mazza. So you just down there.
So it's the bottom of the bottom of the bottom, basically. Yeah, I said it. It's true. It's the bottom of the bottom of the bottom.
I've never heard of that website. I've heard of other ones.
Okay. I don't even know.
Like Harmony, eHarmony.
Okay.
Yeah, because those are the ones which get advertised.
I've heard of Tinder.
Anyway. The
It's a sex thing.
I don't know. Isn't it? Is it in a dating site?
Can we pull this back? Pull it back. Right. So
this is how much we know.
So the title is,
let's do some research.
Can you be
afterwards.
truly happy single? Now, just going to my Facebook page yesterday, I'm going to read some of the comments when I asked that question. So, you laughing at?
Marcia.
What's she saying now?
Yes, you can, as long as the Pornhub is around and you have a flex on the side. Definitely.
The Pornhub would be Marcia's ex-husband.
Okay.
The scene that she saw
and she
sacked him off.
Okay, let me read some of these comments. I'm not going to read them in their entirety, but there were 74 responses.
74 responses.
Yeah,
wow. Right, why?
Yeah. So, in fact, no, 74 people liked it. Sorry. Anyway, So somebody said, I'm happy most days and definitely content. I think a partner can add happiness to your life rather than make your life happy. Okay. Someone said, absolutely. Someone said, of course, you have to be happy within yourself and how your life is before adding someone else to it. Someone else says, yep, can't beat that feeling of contentment and peace. I've only found that as a singleton. Now, when I read that one, what that one said to me, and no disrespect to this person or anyone else who thinks that way, what that said to me was, you've said you've only found it as a singleton, so obviously you was in a relationship which potentially wasn't great, maybe? Because for me, you can only benchmark... Well, for me, being black and white, if we're talking about true happiness, if we're talking about true happiness and saying, can you be happy single or in a relationship, surely you have to base that off being in a really
proper relationship,
great relationship.
Can I?
What's the benchmark going to be?
So this is what I was going to say. So first of all, when we speak about happiness as though happiness is a destination, and happiness isn't a destination. Happiness is a journey. You don't reach happiness and be like, oh, I'm happy, because by tomorrow you're not. Something else has happened. So
are you saying true happiness?
So I'm saying happiness
cannot be reached.
I'm saying true happiness is a continuation. And you're never always happy. There'll be times when you're not, and then you are happy, then you're not, then you are happy. You can be in a relationship that you think is a great relationship. When somebody close to you goes, yo, what's the relationship? You're like, I'm happy. It's the happiest I've ever been. I love the person. I love him. I love her. But there's highs and lows in that relationship.
No. Anyone who's experienced in relationships knows there's highs and lows.
Yeah.
But when you're at a low...
I guarantee you at that low, they tell you they're not happy.
Say that again?
I guarantee you at that low, they would tell you they're not happy.
Depends on the person.
They're going to tell you they're not happy because are you happy? No.
No. It depends on the person, because you could turn around and say, do you know what? My relationship's great. However, I've got this issue.
There are some people like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But but again, I think the common misconception is, and it's like what I was saying to you last week, sometimes we have an aspiration for a relationship, and then when we get into that relationship, we turn it into an expectation and we end up unhappy. Again, I think
Sorry, no, that was me. That was me.
So we have an aspiration for a relationship. We have this idea, this imagination, this thing in our head, like this is what a relationship's meant to be. This is what happiness is. We get into the relationship and we make that an expectation. And because it doesn't happen that way, all of a sudden we're unhappy.
Okay.
Right, that happens a lot. Now, again, we go into some of these things thinking that happiness we reach happiness, boom, we're there. And it doesn't work like that. You have to continuously work on happiness. Do you know what I'm saying? Added to that person that said, look, I only found peace and quiet when I was on my own, is, that you can be happy, and still people are nagging your head and you're like, oh, God, I'm always dealing with some shit every day. You know what I mean? And you're still in a relationship that you're happy, you love the person, you're happy with them, but there's things that grind on you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's every relationship. You ain't going to find I don't care how happy the person says they are. Or they're telling you everything is perfect.
All right, listen, I've written down some benefits that I found of being single. Right. Okay. That potentially would lead to you.
Are we going to have enough time?
You being happy.
To get through all these.
Right. Mikey, you're the time guy, not me. Right. So, benefits of being single, some things that I found. Right. So, number one, your mind is uncluttered. Okay.
Isn't that what she just said? That's what she just said, right?
Mikey, you just on about time and you got in. See this guy?
Oh, yes.
Right.
But that's what she just said.
Yeah.
Can I read my list, Mikey?
I'll let you read your list.
So, your mind is uncluttered. Believe it or not, relationships are mentally expensive. Okay? You're more open to whatever life throws at you because you've got no ties. Okay? So, you're more kind of footloose and fancy free in terms of opportunities, traveling, etc., etc., etc. You have a chance to figure out what you really want out of life as well. Because sometimes you just need that disconnection to kind of find yourself as such. I mean, you see it all the time, don't you? Or when you speak to a female and it's a case of, what's your situation? And they'll say, I'm working on myself. Don't laugh, Michelle. It's like a standardized line by
what
females.
What does that even mean?
Working on myself. I know what I'd like it to mean.
Does it mean I'm on the shelf?
I'm working on myself.
If a female said that to me, I'd like that to mean that you realise just like everyone else walking this planet, you have faults. You've been able to. No, this is what I'd like it to mean.
Right, okay, yeah.
My utopia.
Right.
A
woman thinking she's got faults. Yeah, go on.
Right. Okay. You've been able to. Let me finish my. You realize you've got faults. You realize there's things that need to change in terms of how you are as a person. You've been able to step out of yourself and identify those things, and now you're working towards making change. That's what I'd like it to mean. Ladies, can you tell me what does working on myself mean? Because it's almost like a standardized term that females use when talking about relationships. You've heard that before, Michelle.
You know those.
Nobody's no.
I've heard.
Well, I suppose as a man, you're gonna hear it.
We hear it.
Yeah, ladies, what does working on myself?
That's a good question for the listeners. Can I ask you something? You know those bullet points you just made. What you think? What you'd like?
More as well.
Yeah. So you know those. Have you ever heard any woman actually say those things specifically?
That might mean Michelle put here.
Okay,
so it means I'm single and I'd like to stay that way. So maybe that's why they say I'm
working on myself.
Yeah, keep it moving. I don't want to talk to you.
Potentially, it could be an excuse. I don't want to talk to you. Keeping it real, Mikey. I think for myself, whenever I've had deep conversations in the past, I always try and get to the root core of what's really going on. Yeah. And I think when you get to the root core, it might not, those exact words might not be communicated. Right. But that message is. Right. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Okay. I've been in a shit relationship and I was effed up, he was effed up, and we broke up, and now I'm trying. Do you know what I'm trying to say? There are both males and females out there who can step outside of themselves and understand that, you know what? We've done it. Right. Do you know, we need to. Me
personally, I have genuinely done that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So there was a mad years of my life where I never did none of that.
Okay. So my question to you is, you've just said you've done it, but yet you made a comment earlier saying, do you think there's females that do? Are you saying females aren't capable of doing that?
I will not say that. I don't want to be crucified.
I'm trying to get him, you know, Michelle. I'm trying to get him.
I'm not out here to be crucified. I can't speak on behalf of women because I'm not a woman.
Thank you.
What I will say is, personally, I've never spoken to a woman when we've explored conversation and we've tried.
Now, is that because you don't delve enough?
Trust me, Mark, I delve.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I have a way in which I present my line of questioning, which doesn't seem intrusive, but I allow the person to be very open-ended with their answers. And personally, I can't really think of a time where the person's open and was like, look, I had some faults, I'm working on these things, A, B, C, and D.
I can honestly say that I have had conversations. I've heard that.
The only time I heard something which was close was...
That's it, close.
Which was close, was I was in a relationship. It was a bona fide relationship.
It's got a relationship situation for everything.
Yeah, I've been in a few. You know what I mean?
Mikey's been around, Michelle.
I was in a
hands with man.
This guy is an absolute joker. Anyway, I was in a relationship and it didn't go very well, and I was genuinely trying, because my previous relationship I'd made some mistakes. I was trying to do everything I could to be the perfect guy in this one. Okay. So like really, really going out of my way, and this person was just everything opposite to that. Right. They were just being horrible, counterproductive. They were just doing everything. I just felt like they were trying to go against me in every single thing I was doing. Do you know what I mean?
That person just sounds miserable.
They at that time they were. Right.
So, sorry if you're listening.
They may be. But once I tried to stay for a long time. Because I'm a person where if I decide I'm going to be in a relationship committed, I'm not the kind of person that ups and leaves.
Sorry. I've got to cut in. Someone just put it in the comments, and it's something that I kept seeing yesterday when I asked that question. As a man, I am ultra happy with myself. Okay. There are things that I know that I need to work on. But none of them come down to morality and things of that nature. But there are things that I don't need to change, and it's mainly with me understanding certain things, okay? But a comment that I keep seeing women post, and someone's posted in the comments, is I need to learn to love myself. What does that mean?
Sure, there's got to be a self-esteem thing, right?
What does that mean, Michelle? I need to learn to love myself.
I think from conversations, women as we do talk, is sometimes we put so much into a relationship that you love the person that you're in that relationship so much that you sacrifice and do so many things that you neglect to love yourself or put yourself first in that, or you've kind of pegged yourself underneath what the situation is. I've seen it.
So when you say put yourself first,
so love yourself as in the relationship that, when you've poured everything into it, that, you've put it up on this pedestal there and everything about this relationship, etc. So your loving of yourself comes second to that, secondary. See, my problem with this conversation here is that we're placing the word happy with relationship. So because the question in itself, that's what it says. Can you be truly happy single? So that means happiness looks like relationship. Is that what we're saying here?
I think we've tied the two together because we always see so many people saying that when asked about relationships, I'm happier single. Well, so that's where it's kind of come from. Are you actually really happy single, or is it a case of you're convincing yourself you're happy single, or you're happy but a relationship would enhance where you currently are?
That would kind of be my thing. So if it comes to being happy in a relationship, first you've got to be happy yourself to be happy in that relationship. That's probably where the individual has said, you've got to love yourself first. Again, so if you're loving yourself right, if you're right, and then you're in a relationship with somebody, then that will be right.
This loving yourself thing, it's foreign to me. Is it foreign to you, Mikey?
Don't you think you've got to be in the right? If you're coming to the table, so
no. When I say foreign, Michelle, when I say foreign, what I mean is, I can understand it from a female's perspective, i.e., you're giving absolutely everything to the relationship to the point of you being exhausted. I get it. What I'm saying is, as a man, I have never felt like that. So does that mean that men are selfish?
We can be.
Okay.
But what I will say is I only recently learned to put myself first.
Seriously?
Yeah, facts.
I like what Rose has just said here. I'm happy within myself, but I'm not happy single. So it's not placing happiness. That's one definition of happy means being in a relationship and happy about myself.
Okay. So that answers the question then. So she's being honest and she's saying she's happy, she's cool with who she is.
Yeah.
Insecurities at an all-time low, but she still would like to be in a relationship.
So, I mean,
come on, Mike, you can get it out. Come on.
For me, like I was saying, my definition of happiness isn't this the destination, but I believe that I need to make myself happy. I don't think anybody can make me happy. I don't think a relationship can make me happy.
Okay, but the question is not happy. It's truly happy.
Truly happy. I can only. So for me, and this is my personal view on it.
Okay.
Right, and this is where I think a lot of problems occur in a relationship.
Okay.
I think that people expect the person they're with to make them happy. And then and that's where the problem is, because you yourself, whatever you're doing in your life, however you are, whatever your thoughts are, whatever your process are spiritually, whatever it is, you're meant to find happiness.
Do you think that's the modern woman or the woman maybe 10, 15 years ago?
I just think in general. And
so I've said woman, I shouldn't have said person.
People, and I think that then what happens is a lot of people get with somebody, and then no matter what's going on in the relationship, they're just unhappy. That's why you can go into a yard and the people them are miserable in the house.
Okay, look, we're gonna call somebody. So we're gonna give Liz a call.
Hey,
we're gonna give Liz a call. Obviously, in fact, let me not chat her business. 1 second.
Let me.
Hopefully this works. Can you hear that?
Yes.
We're rolling now, the technicals.
Big things.
Yo, so we going on.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Come true.
Hello, is that Liz speaking?
Hello. How can I help you?
Wow, go on, Liz.
I'm cool, man. How are you?
I'm okay. Now, for everyone who's locked in, there's about 45 people locked in at the moment, Liz, but obviously 3 million people are going to watch this back. So Liz, as you lot know, she does the doors and takes the money at my events. So Liz is that happy face you always see when you walk in. Now, the reason why, in fact, Liz, forgetting the topic at hand, can you explain to people what's going on with you, with the Black Nursery Manager, what you're doing? Because there's quite a lot of women who are locked in at the moment who potentially you could help, maybe?
Absolutely, possibly. So, those of you that might have known my face, as Mark said, the smiley woman on the door, and obviously lockdown's come. So I've rethought about what I could be doing to keep myself occupied. And at the start of lockdown, basically I decided to go into anti-racist training and consultancy, so specialising in the early years, because my day job was as a nursery manager up until March this year. Obviously, nursery closed because of lockdown. I wasn't raving, wasn't doing events, and I was just like, I need to pivot. I need to think about other ways to make money. So got myself a little MacBook Pro, got myself connected to some very strong Wi-Fi, and decided to basically market myself as a trainer and consultant, because I'm a qualified teacher and lecturer, as well as having a master's in early childhood studies. So I've always been engaged with community work, and so now I'm delivering anti-racist training nationally to government organisations, early year settings, primary schools, and a whole range of other people who want to kind of get onto the right side of the conversation when it comes to talking about race in the early years.
Okay. I see you doing a lot on Instagram as well, and you're doing, is it Zoom conferences and stuff?
Webinars, yeah. So things over, it's a software called Click Meeting. It's similar to Zoom, but it's better. But it just allows me to basically deliver my webinars to people on the internet. So yeah.
Shout out to Liz. Doing good things as always. Now, Liz, the reason why I wanted you to call in is because we're discussing can you be truly happy single? Now, obviously, you're a married woman. Shout out to that.
I am indeed. Shout out to that. Shout out to my husband. I'm lucky for him. Lucky for me.
Be your horns, Liz is getting, you know. So Liz is a married woman. Now, what I really should have done is I should have wrote down loads of questions to ask you, but I didn't because I'm unprofessional.
Winging it.
Yeah, but I'm going to ask you, can you describe married life?
Married life is absolutely the biggest lesson that I've learned in knowing myself. So I'm 38 now, and I thought I had a pretty good hold on who I was as a person, as a woman, as an individual. I've been married for just over a year now, but I've been with my husband for 6 years. And what it's kind of taught me is that, you know, when you get married to somebody, you really start to get to know yourself all over again, because a whole heap of negotiating goes on and a whole heap of compromise goes on, and it's continuous. And it means that you have to always be in a state of vulnerability, because you're always learning about what's going to absolutely tick you off and what's going to kind of keep you within those safe boundaries, so that it's not always an explosion ready to happen. So married life is not bliss. It's not a fairy tale. It's very hard. It's very hard work, because you've got to be prepared to kind of put your all in to somebody with the risk, you know, of it possibly not always working out in your favour. But that's where the learning about yourself comes in. And as I said, allowing yourself to be vulnerable. So when things go wrong.
Okay, a lot of people in the comments saying big up, Liz. Stacey saying well done, Liz, you're smashing it.
Thanks, Stacey.
Natasha Cotterill, you know Natasha, she's saying hi, Liz.
Big up, Tasha.
She's saying hi, Liz, miss you.
Miss you too,
I'm
guys.
not how she typed it and she heard it in her head. Miss you. Okay, so just going back.
Honesty right there.
Say that again.
I said I love the honesty right there.
Oh, yeah, you know, Liz is straight talking, man.
Yeah.
So Liz, in terms of, good question now, because I was asking earlier, when females say, I'm working on myself. It seems to be a term that females use when, let's say they're getting questioned about their current relationship situation. I'm working on myself. What adjustments have you had to make regarding how you are now you are in a union with someone else and married?
I've had to learn to shut my mouth. Straight. I've had to learn to pick my battles. I've had to learn that I'm not always right, and I've had to be always in a state of being standing to be corrected by a man, because I was somebody who I would say was fiercely independent.
Yeah,
I
say
do
that.
my own thing. Nobody can't tell me nothing. I do what I want to do when I want to do it. And very quickly, when I met my husband, I realized this was an alpha. So because I see myself as somebody who's quite an alpha female, I kind of got into a relationship with somebody who's an alpha male. I was always testing the boundaries and always getting the pushback. So
Ooh, wait a minute. Pause. Testing the boundaries. Can you can you expand on that for us, please, Liz?
Yeah, so I would do things which were very challenging to my husband. So I was very cheeky.
Okay.
I've always got an answer for everything. I always snap back.
Mhm.
And what I realised is that my husband never took the bait. And the bait was that, sometimes I wanted to have a little bit of an argument. I wanted to have a bit of a confrontation. Something might have pissed me off.
Why, Liz? Why though? Why? As men, me and Mikey are hearing this now. Michelle probably understands it, but as men, me and Mikey are hearing this now, and we're like, why wouldn't you just want bliss? Not true, Mikey. Mikey, not true.
Mikey, man, listen. Mikey already knows. Me and Mikey have been reasoning on the door.
Yeah, we speak for hours. We speak for hours, Liz and I do.
Mikey has given me advice
Yeah, trust me.
years.
I tell you something, a big up, Liz. You're doing good work, and I'm glad that you're calling in the show, and I respect your views and opinions. But really, why don't you just want this? I don't understand it.
Don't listen to them,
It
Liz.
baffles
Everybody
me.
else
No,
is
come on,
agreeing
Liz.
with what you've said.
Liz,
here.
we need answers.
Why does that happen where you feel like, you know what, I want this little argument today?
Because sometimes being a woman is a very complicated task. It's not easy to just contain everything all of the time. And I would say, personally, I'm a very emotional creature. I also tell all of my friends who are men, women are complicated. None of us are easy. And sometimes within that complication, you're kind of looking at ways to work yourself out. And that's why I say about testing the boundaries. Now, I was really specific about the kind of man that I chose, because it was a selection. I didn't just let this happen to me. I chose the man that I wanted to be with, and I looked at his personality traits, and I looked at how compatible we would be, knowing that I'm a very explosive character. And my husband is quite quiet. He's quite a humble character, but he's by no means a pushover.
Right.
And that for me was really key, because I know that as much as I make lots of noise, I'm very, very sensitive.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like, I guess, interesting in me meeting him. There was a different level of compatibility that I kind of hadn't really...
He was the yin to your yang.
Yeah, definitely. I hadn't really accounted for it. I was just like, yeah, man, this is me. Like, yeah, this is me. But as we got to know each other, I was like, oh, God, this really is me. Yeah. Because this guy doesn't bite back. So in previous relationships, when I've given fire, I've gotten fire back. And that kind of dies out very quickly.
Right.
Because then it turns into something that's very much based in animosity and resentment and hatred and distrust. Whereas with this, if I try to start something, my husband just walks away. He's just like, Liz, I'm not doing this today, so chat to yourself.
Man of my own heart.
And that really has forced me to be in a space where I just sit and reflect and be like, you know what, Liz, sort yourself out, man. Like, I have a word with myself. I've never had so many words with myself as I have the past year and a half.
Can I ask you a question, Liz? After you have that word with yourself, do you ever approach your husband and say, you know what, actually, I thought about this and A, B, C, D, I was wrong in this issue. And perhaps
because bad guy don't take that shot.
No, I didn't expect that answer. I thought she was going to say yes.
I knew there had to be an element of, you know what I mean? I just knew, that's why I asked you that. Because I thought, there's no way this can all go 100% as good.
No. And my husband will tell you, he's waiting for me to say sorry. Like, I will show my sorry, but I won't say sorry.
You ain't gonna say that to him.
Nah, man.
You know what? I wonder if me, as a man, I'm expecting a little too much. In the sense of when I'm like waiting for that apology, for instance, or maybe I should just think she's not gonna apologize, but maybe she'll show it. You know what I mean? If I'm in those situations.
It depends who the individual is, because some will apologise. It depends who it is, what kind of character. As you know, you have Liz there, and she said she will show it, and others will just say, you know what, babes, I'm sorry for what it is that I said. I was incorrect. You were right.
Liz, I've got a question for you, because obviously the segment we're discussing is people being happy single. So my question to you is, when you wasn't married and before you had your husband in your life, was you happy and content being single?
Not 100%, no, not at all.
But I think that was also,
I think that was also to do with the situation that I'd come out of. So I'd come out of a relationship where my ex-boyfriend had cheated on me and got somebody pregnant, and it caused me a lot of kind of upset and distrust and anger. But it also caused me to really reflect and think about, what kind of man do I want in my life, if any? Because, you go through the angry stage of like, I don't want no man, frigate, da-da-da-da-da. That lasted for about a month and a half. And then I was like, you know what, let me spend more time with my girls. That lasted about a month and a half. Spend more time with my family, spend more time on my own. And I started to realize I'm somebody who, I like the comfort and the security of sharing my joys with other people and sharing my joys with a man.
So, Liz, do you think that it was the relationship and your husband that made you happy, or did you find happiness before and then you met him?
I found happiness before because I had to reevaluate. Was it me? Was I the reason that my ex-boyfriend cheated?
Okay.
Was it because my bottom wasn't big enough? Was it because my boobs were too small? Was it because I wasn't laying it down in the bedroom? I had to think those things. And in kind of meeting my husband, I realized he was a totally different kind of man and different kind of personality.
Right.
And he was very principled. And in meeting him, it kind of helped me to think, you know what, this is the kind of man. And I said this to him when we went on our first date. I was like, yep, husband.
Right.
That's nice.
Seriously?
So can I come in?
No, wait a minute.
Seriously?
Straight away, Liz.
Straight away, man.
Apparently, that's what happens to people. They know pretty much at the beginning that whoever their life partner is, they know. Can I just ask you there, Liz, with just to bolt on to what Mikey had said, because my argument is that you need to be happy yourself. Happiness doesn't mean relationship. Happy is happy. It sits by itself. So you were happy going into the relationship, and that made relationship was happy, because here it's the line between happy single or happy in a relationship. Happy can be attached to both. That's my argument.
Happiness is fluid.
Yeah.
Right.
I like there you go. She's come right in with the word.
So this is
Big up,
exactly.
Liz.
That's what I'm saying. Because for me, Liz, and I don't know if you share the same sentiment, I don't believe that happiness is a destination. I believe happiness is a journey.
Journey.
Right.
Yay.
So I don't think that you just reach happiness like, all right, hey, I'm happy, and that's it.
No.
Because there'll be times where you just think, actually, I'm not happy.
That's why I said about what married life is. It is not bliss.
Yeah.
It is not, right, I'm married now, that's it, the end. It is an absolute roller coaster. And it goes sometimes from one extreme to the other, because that's human nature. So in the journey towards kind of marriage, that's one part. Getting married, the day, that's another part. Then the journey after. Why? So there's times when I feel like if I step into my husband's face, I might kick it off.
Right.
Lad!
But then there's other times when it's like, oh my God, I am so obsessed with you. Can you talk to me? Can you do this? Can we do that? And I'm so over like the top in love. So it goes from one extreme to the other. And I think particularly situations like this, lockdown, when you're in the house together 24/7, we've really found out about each other.
For real.
But what we've said at the end of it is like, boy, we've got through this in that we still really genuinely love one another, headscarf all day, every day, no bra all day, every day,
real.
You are testing this. See, for me, that'd be testing the boundaries of the love.
Listen,
I mean, because it's for me
time.
now, like I'm like, you know what it is, Liz? Like I'd like to personally, so no slight on you. Obviously, everyone does their thing differently, but me, like as a man, I always try to be at my best, like 80% of the time, to just remind the person who I'm with, like, yeah, man, this is the man that you did meet.
So lose the head tie. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying lose. You might. In
this, in that little gap where, like, remember before this second lockdown or whatever we're on now, the restaurants were open for a little
bit. That part there that you went straight to 100.
Listen to me. I went straight to 1 million. My husband saw me and he was like, "Who is this? Who is this?"
So he appreciated it more in that period of time, right? Okay, I get you. I hear you.
I went all out, and we went out for a nice little romantic meal, and got it all back on track in terms of like, this is who I am.
Right.
And I also knew, like, I was going to show him that day, like, don't even sleep on me, because although you see me with my headscarf on for the past how many months,
Shout out to Headscarf Gang.
all the time. Shout out to Chicks and Dolls.
Western Union
Shout out to
headscarves. If
Sasha.
you wear one of them,
Chicks
you
and
got me. You know,
Dolls.
you got me.
Headscarf.
Western Union.
Yeah, you know Western Union.
Yeah.
You know, the yellow ones. If a girl's got one of them on, you got me, man.
Oh, I haven't got one of those ones.
Yeah, man. That's when I start getting on my
Oh, God.
Western Union headscarves. Put me in the mood, man. Sorry, Michelle. Liz, continue. Sorry.
Right.
Well, goddamn.
Turning it up to 100 is your secret weapon.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to see their partner at their best, but it's really important that your partner also sees you in your everyday at your worst, because
I hear
you
that.
can't be living for Instagram relationships. That's not real.
Yeah, I hear that.
All right, cool.
So ultimately,
Yeah.
you're saying that. So this is what we're getting to. So ultimately, can a relationship make you happy?
You have to be happy already.
Yes.
Before you come into the relationship, you have to be a whole. You can't go in as a half, because nobody else is going to be responsible for your happiness.
Yes.
You have to go in fully loaded and charged.
But it's
yes, somebody
Yes.
can add to your happiness,
Yes.
but they cannot complete and make you, be. And you shouldn't ever give anybody else that power anyway.
Yes.
no,
there you go.
I believe that.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if a lot of people know it though.
But the thing is this, as I said to you, this happiness thing, it's foreign to me. Because I'm always happy within myself.
Right.
But I know that everyone's not like me. And that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to understand this. I need to be happy within.
Yeah.
Like, why are you sad with
I've
him?
been in a situation where I've had to tell the person, "Yo, you're miserable. It's not me doing that."
Yeah,
You know what? Do you know what I can liken it to? I imagine, right? Me and my husband don't have children yet. Okay. And when I speak to people who are parents, they say they've never felt love like the love that they felt when they've looked at their child.
Absolutely.
They've never felt it. They've thought that they've been in love or they've loved, but when they've had a child, it's a different thing.
That's
I can
true.
only probably equate it to that. Like, I was happy. I'm very confident. I'm very assertive. I know that I'm nice. I know that I'm sexy. But when I met my husband and my husband told me, "You're beautiful,"
Right.
or
You felt
"I
different.
love you," or when I got married on my wedding day, like, I bombed because I was like,
that's what I'm saying. That's
wow.
that's utopia.
I've ever told you guys that I cry at weddings.
I do all the time, even if they're on. I cry at
Me,
weddings.
I cried.
6 foot odd.
I cried at my brother's
How
wedding.
much stone? Me, a ball,
But now he started telling the story, man, and he put his hand on my shoulder, and I was just
That breakdown, brother. I cry
I was
every wedding.
literally bawling.
Yo, so like one of my
nice.
closest friends, Brendan, he got married, and I'm his best man trying to pull out the ring, and I'm like,
And you know, Mikey's nose is always running in red. He's always got his rag on
so
him.
you can imagine how it was.
Mike, he must have took a towel with him that day, hanging out his back pocket like a true Jamaican.
He's turned to me. He's like, "You fix your face."
Oh, and he wasn't quite, so it was you.
He's turned to me. He's like, "Fix your face."
Listen. Liz, thank you very
You've
much.
been great.
Thank you very much for allowing us to speak to you.
Thank you, Liz.
And
Much appreciated.
it's been a pleasure. I feel like I ain't seen you in
has.
ages, Liz.
It's been a while, man.
I miss you.
When did we
I
last
miss
see-
you guys.
I swear, the last time I seen Liz, I swear it was the last
No.
event.
Not
Don't
even
talk about
before
it.
that,
It's
bro.
gonna make
That was
me
fe-
cry
it was
right
it
now.
was February at my birthday
Nah.
party.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I know. Don't talk about it.
Was it
I miss-
really?
I
Yeah,
Was
miss-
there? Was Liz?
Yeah, Liz was
Yeah,
doing it
very-
all.
Where was your
Oh, it
birthday
was-
party again?
I miss it.
Rise, man.
I do.
Acapella.
really do.
When we had
Acapella?
Heartless Crew there.
Yo,
Yo, I
listen,
can't
big
remember.
up all of you. Big up
This
you,
white
Mark. Big up the whole of the crew. Have a great evening.
Nice one,
Yeah, man,
Liz.
Liz. And big up,
Thanks, Liz.
give your husband our best wishes
Yeah,
as
man.
well.
Big him up
I
as well.
will.
Yeah.
1000%.
Oh,
All right, guys.
Liz, one moment. Can you just share your @ so people can find you?
Yeah, at the Black Nursery Manager
On Instagram.
on Instagram.
All right,
Thank
Liz.
you.
Black Nursery
Big
Manager.
stuff, man.
Okay,
Thank
cool,
you, Liz.
cool.
Thanks.
Excellent.
Bye,
Thanks a lot,
Liz.
Liz.
See you later.
Peace.
Bye. See, that's what I'm saying. The happiness within and yourself before you.
Michelle, I'm hearing that and I understand it, but
Mark agrees.
I still
Okay.
don't know what you women are talking about when you say I need to make myself happy. I don't get it.
But I think
Somebody.
The closest thing I can think of. The closest thing.
What is it? No. What I'm saying is.
Go on, Michelle, let me hear
No,
you.
what I'm saying is this.
Let me hear you, Michelle.
Is it a physical thing?
No.
Let's see what Michelle's got to say about it.
Tumbleweed.
You see that face there? If you guys could have ever seen it, we're going.
Well, they probably going to be watching on the camera.
Michelle,
and stuff and replays.
explain it to me because I don't get it.
No. See, it boils back. I don't know why you don't get it though.
Big it up. Can you see your body right now, man?
So I thought I'd give you some energy. So you get it out.
Yeah.
What is it, Michelle?
I don't,
Ladies,
no, hold on.
listen.
I don't understand.
Let me ask these ladies in the comments because for some reason Michelle's tongue tied.
No, I'm not tongue tied. When I go into talk, when I can't stop, you just keep
I want
going.
you to
So
talk.
when it's time for me to talk now,
I want you to talk.
I've
Come
lost
with
my
it, then.
trail of
All right, say what
thought.
you wanna say.
So when we're talking about happy within yourself, it's important and it's something that you must do every single body. You can't rely on another person to make you happy.
Right.
That's a massive downfall because if something happens, it's gonna all collapse.
Okay, Michelle.
Then you're gonna find yourself in depression. You find yourself in a real bad state. So you really have to.
No, you have to make
You
a-
have to.
Even Marcia's in the
Make her run,
comments.
just-
Marcia's in the comments saying she don't get it either.
Yo, make her
Nah,
run.
forget Marcia
no,
then.
Make
Bye.
her, let's
I'm
let her
gonna
run a train of
disconnect
thoughts.
Marcia here.
Run your train of thoughts, please, Michelle. I want to hear.
She's
you.
done, man.
She hasn't done. You
You
interrupted
just
her.
be
All right, so go on,
interrupting.
go
You're so rude.
Go on.
And you know what? This is what some of my family was saying. You know, when you go back on there, don't make them be over talking to you.
Right, yo.
Them a
interrupted all
chat
the time.
motors, you know, man.
Yes.
Them a
They said it
chat
was really
motors
good to
behind
know, but
closed doors, you
You
know.
hold your own. You stay in there and you say what you need to say.
I know it was your daughter.
Yes.
Shalika.
What she does?
Shalika.
What she does?
Why you blaming on shit?
I know it was her.
We never talked over her.
Okay. Go on,
Yes.
Michelle. The floor is yours.
The floor is mine. So what the question that you're asking is you don't understand working on yourself.
I don't get this thing about you need to make yourself happy. Not happy.
Sometimes people
Michelle,
aren't.
wait a minute. I'm not happy within. I don't get it because that is not me, and I want to understand it.
Right.
So I need to understand what is it. Is it a case of low self-esteem? Is it a
be.
Is it a physical thing?
be.
I.e., I
It
don't know.
could-
I don't know what to
it
start talking
could-
about here. But like, what is it that needs to be fixed?
You know what? It can be a variety of things depending who you are.
But
It
my-
could
but my
be
phone's going
you're
off
not,
now.
You're not
I'm-
happy with your weight.
I'm getting 25 like WhatsApp messages from various people.
So you're
in
not-
fact, you know what? I'm gonna call you now.
See, all the inter.
No,
Go on,
we got to
no,
make Michelle
go on,
talk.
go on.
We got to make Michelle
No, Michelle,
talk.
come.
We have to make Michelle talk.
Come on, Michelle.
Don't chat to me.
No, Michelle, come.
Go on, Michelle. Let me hear
So
it.
when I'm talking about, it can be a wide spectrum of things. Maybe you're the person that, you know, you're quite content. Some people, it might be a matter of, I'm not happy because I'm not happy with how I look. I'm not happy with the size that I am. I'm not happy because I've just come out of a relationship that just totally wrecked me.
Okay.
I'm not happy where I am financially. I'm not happy with my living situation. So those could be the things that they're not happy
Okay.
and they're working on. Or it could be they're not confident. They've got low self-esteem. It can be a variety of things, Marcus. Oh,
Okay, Michelle. Now,
Bumbo clot.
your twin has asked that she wants to call in.
Oh, yes, come, Ange.
Okay.
Right.
That's
So-
my sister.
Let's hear what. Go on.
So I'm just calling.
sister?
I'm just
Mark's sister,
I'm
my
calling my
sister.
older sister.
Ah, okay,
because
okay.
she-
Twin.
she's requested to call in because she's going to educate me now.
I can't
Yeah.
educate you for real.
Yes, please.
'Cause I don't
Yes,
get it, and
I-
I want. The thing is, I genuinely want to understand.
Come true, twin,
All right.
and enlighten your little bro.
All right. Cool. Also, there's quite a few comments here. Actually, we have to read these afterwards.
Yeah, we'll have to.
All right. Let me see if this works. Have you paid your phone bill?
See, this, let Michelle finish. Oh, no.
Nah, Michelle's making you finish.
Yes. See, even those in the comments, that's it, ladies.
Hiya.
Hello, Angela.
Yeah.
Hi, twin.
Hey, Sha, you alright?
I'm good.
Here we go, Mikey. Let's just go out the room and just leave
Shut
him to it. All right. So this is my older sister Angela on the line. Angela, right? Real talk. In fact, Mikey, do you understand it?
Yes.
Oh, you understand it?
But the reason I understand it is because I had to do it myself.
Okay, so
Just Mark
we,
then.
we were talking about this whole "can you be happy single" topic. That's what we're discussing. I'm saying I do not get when females say I need to be happy within myself. You need to be happy first. I don't understand all of that. I'm trying to understand it, but I just don't get it. So you've obviously asked me to call you. So can you explain it from your perspective?
Okay, I think as a woman, as I put in the chat,
Wait a minute, you got me on speakerphone.
I did. All
Yeah,
right, I've
take
took
take
it off
take off
now.
speakerphone. Yeah.
Okay, okay. As a woman, we are brought up differently to men. So women, in a sense, are brought up to serve, basically, to give, to be the nurturing type, and we put all of our being into that. So from a young, if we're the oldest, we will look after our younger siblings.
Yes.
That's true. She
As
looked
we
after me still.
as we get older, that responsibility as being the older one, do the shopping, look after the house, put the food on. So there's so many duties and roles as a female we have to adapt to. So along the way, as a woman, you can forget who you truly are.
Hmm.
You can forget who you are. And then the next thing you know, you're into a relationship, you go into work, children come along, house comes along. So all these things come along
All right. Question.
and go on then.
Question. All these things come along.
Mhm.
Your head to a certain extent is scrambled. Does that then impact on the person you choose for your partner?
Ooh,
I would think it may do as
choosing.
well because if it's impacting you and you're in a relationship with somebody, it probably has a knock on effect, transfer.
I think sometimes choosing a partner can be, in a sense, what you've been, one, either what you've seen growing up, or two, you're running from what you've seen growing up, and then you choose exactly the opposite
Right.
without
Okay.
really knowing what it is you really want as a person. And I think for me, um, that has been, listening to Liz coming on earlier, that has been one of the big learning points for me, because I suppose I ran away from certain things I saw when I was younger and ran to things thinking that would make me happy, and it didn't.
Yeah.
It,
Okay.
it, it it just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with my current partner that I'm with now, been with him for 8 years, and exactly what Liz said, he is a very humble man, but not by no means a pushover. And sometimes we have uglies as women about us, and it takes a proper man to sit down and show you that ugliness about that. And you have to be open to see that. And many women don't want to see that about themselves. Many women think that they're fine with themselves because this thing has taken them so far, but this thing has also destroyed them along the way because it's a protection piece for them. So sometimes women being rowdy and fiery and self-defensive is a protection piece for them, but they don't know how to be vulnerable. They don't know how to
See,
be open.
and that's the
They
thing.
don't know. Yeah.
So, quick question: as a man, as somebody who may be a partner of one of those people, or trying to become a potential partner of one of those people, how do we address that with the woman? How do we present that? Hey, look, there's these issues. Maybe you need to look at those things and address those within yourself before we can see whether or not we have any kind of compatibility in future together. How does a man do that?
It takes a strong man to do that.
Understanding.
It takes a strong man to do that because, like I said, some women don't want to see that in them. Some women will not want to change. And how I view relationships for me isn't about just two people getting together and getting it on. Relationship for me is like a spiritual union. It is growth for both people.
Spiritual. I keep telling this one, you know. You don't want to listen to me.
Yeah, that's another
Spiritual,
conversation.
You know what?
You
Spiritual.
know what? When your sister says it sounds different to when you
Oh,
do.
so someone else can say it. You see, someone else can say it, but when I say it, nah, Mark, you're talking rubbish. You're burning sage again. You're burning sage again. You got your crystals out on the bed. Nah, he's a hater, you know, Michelle. He's a hater, trust me. He's a hater. I'm watching him, you know. I keep trying to talk to this buddy, you know.
You'll make a believer out of one day, man. Inshallah.
Ultimately,
What? No, I'm getting some crystals for Christmas, you know.
yes, he needs some.
But in response to your question,
It's some shunk tight
Well,
and
I'm
everything
Angela
there.
speaking. This
Oh, sorry.
chatty.
yeah, but in response to your question, Mikey, you know, sometimes the woman doesn't see that in herself, and as a man, it takes a lot of patience, because you are going to have times. I've had it. I've had it. You know what? If I didn't love you, I didn't care for you, I would have been out the door.
Yeah.
I would have been out the door.
For real.
Because I'm not an easy person
For real.
to deal with. But
Yeah.
8 years has shown me to look at myself. And
You know-
if you're open to that, you can change. But for the man, like you said, how do you do it? It's about sitting down, and it's about investing time, and that's what relationships are about. It's about investing. It's about investment.
You know
Would
what?
you
the-
say, sorry
So-
to
go on,
cut
go
you,
on.
would you say in your experience with the women you know, your friends, etc., that they'll come together and have a sense of accountability with those things, be like, boy, I'm easy, you know,
Exactly
I
what I was
was
gonna say.
kind of,
Exactly what I was going to say.
I
Some
was
women
kinda,
do.
you know,
Some
I
women
was
do.
kinda
Some
my-
don't.
Michelle, that is a
Some
small
do,
percentage.
Some do and some don't, because I like to think that I'm a friend that does hold my friends accountable. So when I see them doing something, or they'll come and say, oh, this has happened in my relationship, or, you know, he said such and such, you're wrong. And so, and we do have those conversations when
think-
they're like, oh, well, perhaps, and I've been told it, and, you
I think
know,
that- 'cause
well, perhaps.
I think that's where a lot of it goes, because you know me, I can't speak for all guys, but within people I know, we call each other out.
We do.
Mark's been telling me to be like, boy, I don't know about that, you know, Mikey. And there's been times where I got cousins where we're talking to each other and I say, boy, you know, you was wrong. Or they look at me and be like, Mikey, you're full of shit.
I've only said that regarding your NF friends list. Shout out to Mike's NF friends list.
We'll pull each other up, but I feel like the issue comes where, because I mean, and again, I can't speak, I'm not there, I'm not the fly on the wall in every woman's conversation, but it comes across as though it doesn't happen as often as it needs to, where you're pulling each other up.
I believe it does, but whether they take it on board and then take it back home and into the relationship might be another
Is this
matter.
something- have you done this, Michelle?
As in
Actually
self-
like sat down and spoke to your friends and said,
I
listen.
do all the time.
Right, okay.
That I am the voice of reason.
What about
My
the opposite
friends
way
will
around?
all the time.
And have you gone home and been like, all right, then what they were saying was right, let me correct this and the
Yeah,
yard.
and I've been told, oh, it takes your friend to tell you that you were wrong.
That's
And
what we do.
sometimes
We
it
do
does.
say that as men.
Yeah, and sometimes it does.
Yeah.
Because I am quite a strong character, so I'm a lot to deal with.
Do you know what?
But I know that.
I think that the two things which stand out for me regarding reflection is accountability.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
And
the biggest one.
Being able, and it's a skill, being able to step out of the situation and look at it from a bird's eye view and say, you know something.
I think that comes with time.
Introspection.
I think you should also look at that with men. What I found out as well, a man can see man's foolishness. A woman can see woman's foolishness.
Yep.
So where Michelle said, you know, some women will be accountable for it and some people won't. That is true, because a woman can call you out on your stupidness, can call you out on your folly and say, you know what, now you need to fix up. You never acted right.
And
As
you
a
need
woman,
good
you
friend.
did not act right. That wasn't right.
And you need
And
that
it
good
take-
friends
it-
as well.
Yeah,
that
you
would do.
need that person to be able to tell you that.
Yeah,
I think as men, we don't do it as much as we should.
I certainly
You think
do.
so?
Now we see some fuckery that other men are doing, and
allow
we let it. We let I tend to put it this way. If it was my close circle, I'd have a word. But more time, you see certain things, and you just think, you know what, I don't want to get involved. I think men do it.
I'd say that as I've gone older, I tend to check brothers more about certain things.
Okay,
Angela, when I was younger, I just let it slide.
Thanks for well, I called you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, man.
Thanks
much
for your
appreciated.
input,
Thanks for the conversation.
especially
Insight
around
was well
spirituality.
appreciated.
It's one
Okay,
Mikey
then.
needs to take away.
Mikey.
Hold on a
Thanks,
second.
Ange.
You know what
Bye.
I'm getting? You know what I'm getting?
Bye.
See you later.
I just realised something.
You know what I'm getting you for Christmas? Some of these, man.
What the fuck is that?
Getting some of these, man.
Wait,
some
let
of
me
these,
have a,
boy.
what is that? Let me have a look.
You know about these?
What is that?
Google that shit, man.
And what's the other thing?
No, but when it comes to
good energy
but
crystals.
you know what? When it
Don't
comes
get too close, man. You know what I mean? Come
no,
mash up my
I
thing.
I would say that you go and you choose your own crystals. It's better that way
Hang on a
because you'll
second.
know which one to buy.
Are we having a conversation about what crystals I should buy?
Absolutely, because you need to feel. You'll feel it when you go to buy it, so you'll know which
Like,
one's
are
for
you-
you.
Like,
Okay,
Listen,
we'll come back. We'll bring it back in because he's not ready for that.
Yeah, we've got someone else to call. We've got someone else to call.
oh, we got a third
Okay,
caller.
how about we go to the comments because people have been saying stuff and we've
All right.
kind of.
Michelle, can you read the comments?
Lord, let me go back with this now. Let me put this back here. So,
You read the comments.
let me make you big because I don't have the eyeglass. Them.
I'd just like to say I
No, but I
really,
can see
really
this.
do wish that women would pull
How
each other
far
up
back-
more
how
because
far
I know
back am
some
I?
madness goes on and it's just not happening.
I'm not sure how
Because
far back.
you be in your yard thinking, so
I don't think it's women that need to pull each other up more. For me, from
I think
my
it's both sides. Don't just give it
no,
to
I'm just
us.
talking about from a male's perspective.
Yeah,
I can't speak on a woman's perspective.
from previous experience, and again,
I'm
it's
not
something.
sure how far back.
It's something.
Okay.
It's something which comes with time. For me, I wish more women would step out of themselves
Okay. I'm
and,
gonna.
and step out of themselves and just look at how they're moving, behaviors, how they're interacting.
Self-critiquing.
We would like you guys to do exactly the same.
Michelle, it's not a ping pong game. I'm
no,
just
but you're
stating.
trying to. I think
I wasn't
don't know,
pointing.
sort
I wasn't pointing at you when I said
yeah,
that.
but it's all. It's all.
wasn't
All
pointing
the
at you, Michelle.
conversation is going this way.
Why,
but Michelle,
you felt
Women,
like
you wish
we are
women
talking
should.
from a
Did
male
that-
perspective,
did that-
as you are talking from a female
Yeah,
perspective.
and I wish you did the same.
It's a discussion, Michelle.
Yes, I wish you did the same.
Easy, no?
No.
Smooth things out a little bit. You know what? I can't even play that too long, you know. Because you know when the first episode I uploaded on YouTube, I played it for 30 seconds.
They cut it.
I got a
It's gotta be-
strike.
Yeah,
You're
it
joking.
has to be less than 30.
Not even less than 30, they still strike you.
Serious?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought 30
Literally
was.
five. If it's a tune which is out there, like copyrighted, 5 seconds, man.
Yeah, otherwise you're going to pay. Right, we're going to start. Oh, I've gone back as far as. I can't go back. There's so many comments that have gone on in the last few minutes. So, Stacey said that happiness is the Aquarius in you, Mark. Mark, you so. Marcia, Marcus, you so sweet a man who shows emotion is human.
Where are
Go
we?
on. Okay. Marcus, I don't get it either. It's a very ambiguous statement. That's from Michelle. Donna, it's very hard for a single woman to find a man ratio and things, so you're going to be miserable to find Mr. Right, question marks. No, you're going to live your life. Some women need to heal before they enter another relationship. Absolutely.
See, Marcy is saying she needs to understand because she doesn't get it over.
Marcy's the only one. Forget you, Mars. I'm not. You're not on my team anymore. You sacked. Bye.
Big up, Marcia.
Anja said women have been brought up to
Oh,
give
read
us
hers, 'cause
friend.
we
Angela
already
said
spoke to her.
that. I need to understand too, Marcus. Marcus, it could be anything. Finances, weight, family, and career. That's when you were saying work on what. It could be because someone has suffered trauma. Everyone's different. Absolutely, Shine.
Yeah, I can get that.
Stacey, let Michelle finish. Thank you, Stacey, my girl. High fives.
Mikey, block her from the group.
Charlene, being happy within yourself means you're content with life, happy with your surroundings, with the people you have in life, happy with where you're going in life, etc. Instead of being in a relationship thinking you're happy, but it's only when you leave the relationship, really, you realize you weren't actually happy. Yeah, the emphasis on being happy in a relationship, and as Lee says, it goes both ways. Sometimes you might be happy, and sometimes you might not. Marcia, again, I want to understand too.
Go on, Marcia.
Women will work on themselves and get into a relationship and then still not be happy. Happiness has so many elements to it. It's not straightforward. That is kind of what my kids said as well, and Liz. Waking up feeling happy, going to bed feeling happy, generally happy from within. Somebody trying to explain to you again, Ma. Terence, I agree with Mish. Happiness is internal. Otherwise,
Yeah, Terry, you would agree, Michelle, wouldn't you? In fact, we should call Terry. That's who we should
Terence,
call.
oh God, lad, we'll be here for a while.
Terry, can we call you Terry?
Yes, you can. I'll give you his number.
No, we need his we need him to say it's okay.
He will say it's okay. He's going to be involved.
Bomba
Others can increase your happiness.
Buckler.
So we could like that because I've worked
gonna
on
say it's
me
all right.
and he's worked on him, and we're there. Others can increase your happiness, but it can't be responsible for your happiness. I like that. They can increase and enhance it, but not be responsible for it. Otherwise, you're gonna have a problem if you put too much emphasis.
Okay,
on
listen.
somebody else.
We're
You have to
gonna
find
have to
it.
come back to some of these
Yes,
comments
yes.
because we just have
Truth.
a bag of them. Well, I promised them when I was gonna call them, and I said I was gonna call them at 9:30, and it's now 10 o'clock.
Oh my goodness.
So let me quickly give this person a call. 1 second. He's probably gone to bed, you know.
Hello.
Hello, is that Taj?
Yes, that's me.
Taj, how you doing? This is Mark Ryder from the Mass Appeal podcast. How are you today?
I'm good. Good.
Good. Sorry, I know I was going to call you earlier, but Mikey and Michelle has been talking down the place. You get me?
It's fine. It's fine. It's been interesting to hear the conversation.
Yeah,
Hang on a second. Where was the accountability there, Mark?
So,
exactly.
So-
call him out on it. Call him out on it.
so Taj, the reason why I wanted your input on this was because obviously yesterday I put the status on my Facebook, and I would say 99% of people who responded were all saying that you can be happy single. However, you had a slightly different take on it. Can you just expand on what your viewpoint is?
So, this is a hard one. Like, I believe in what everyone is saying in the sense that you have to be happy within yourself. But I feel like the happiness that people are talking about is more contentment. Like, you're content. But I don't think if we go back to the question where it says, are you truly happy single? I think a lot of people are lying to themselves. No, you're not.
Ooh.
You're not. I think we put this pretense, and especially women, I feel like, especially what your sister said, in the sense of we are brought up to, especially Black women, through centuries, we're brought up to, we have to be the strong one. We have to be the one that can't show their vulnerable side. We have to, we're the homemakers, the one that everyone comes to. So I feel like, as well with society and feminism, is that we're not allowed to be soft. We're not allowed to be vulnerable anymore. We're not allowed to love. So I feel like a lot of us, and I'm 32, and I feel a lot of us in the new generation is we put this facade as, I'm independent. I don't need no man. Bull. We do. We do. Men need women and women need man.
I agree with that.
We do.
part.
We need each other.
Mikey's screwing up his face.
And it's funny with the situation where even the two, your sister and Liz came on.
Yeah.
Liz. It's only when they found their soulmate. When I was listening to it, this is what I got out of it: is only when they found their soulmate is when they truly started to understand themselves.
For real. That's a good point, actually.
And through doing that and through the growth in that partnership that they had brings the ups and downs, but ultimately they are truly happy.
I agree with that statement. These two sat here, they're making up their face.
Yeah, our
I am
faces are crumpled.
skeptical about this, and here's the reason why. Because I think that we have to be able to distinguish. So, first of all, hello, thank you for calling in. Thank you for taking the call. There we go. Thank you both for taking the call. We appreciate it, man. We appreciate all the input, and we love this. We love this interaction. I'm a little bit skeptical because I think that first of all, we need to distinguish the two. So you said number one was truly discovering themselves and finding themselves, right? That's what you said. And then the other thing was becoming truly happy. And I think those are two distinct different things.
But I think they go hand in hand.
Right, but they're not the
Because
same.
even in what they were saying, they were going, you know, happiness. And then they said, from what I was getting from what they were talking about,
Right.
they were talking about, you know, they discovered themselves and it grows in their relationship, and through their relationship then they become happy. So it all interlinks, if that makes sense. It's
Right.
not just one thing. It's a circle of things. It's a like a chain reaction
Right.
of
So
things.
I understand what you're saying there. So first of all, I think that it's important and it's good for a person to discover themselves, find out more about themselves. Excuse me. Have time for self-reflection, introspection, self-critique to become a better person. But would you say that that person could have been unhappy, found that person and became happy in that relationship? Or would they have had to have been happy already to have been able to have a healthy and maintainable relationship?
Yeah, I suppose, that's a hard one as well, because I feel like a lot of the comments and when people say that, you know, you need to find happiness with yourself first before you get into a relationship, I agree with that to a certain extent. But I think that's only said, people only say that because they've been in a bad place before.
Right.
If they weren't in that bad place before,
real.
would they actually say that?
For real.
Yes, because I've been
you
in
know,
great
we only say
places.
it because we're reflecting on, I was in a bad relationship, so I'm gonna, you know, look at myself, see what went wrong, or, you know, find my inner confidence and then get into another. But if that relationship was okay and fine, and you wouldn't say that.
I agree.
you know,
I agree with that because
I agree as well.
Because you come out of a relationship,
Right.
and obviously the ending might be a little bit mucky, rare tear. So now you are single.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, you know what? I'm happy, but you're happy because you came out of a bad situation, and that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what I was saying right at the start.
Right,
What's
I
your
hear that.
benchmark? And your benchmark can only be you've been in a real relationship where it was proper. Yeah, it had its highs and its lows, but you're measuring happiness against the highs, and that's the thing. A lot of people, Mikey. Listen, Mikey.
Yeah. I'm listening.
You know how it goes, man. We're like Newtown and Hands of Man and whatever. You know how it goes. Most people have relationships.
They're toxic. They're
And
terrible.
they're shit.
Yeah, they're terrible.
They're shit.
terrible. It's all we've
They're
ever
shit.
known.
You get with the wrong person for the wrong reason, you might have a kid, it all falls apart, and then it's just
I
bit
agree.
every. Do you know what I mean?
I agree
So a
with
lot of
that
people,
aspect.
they're saying they're happy because they're coming from a bad situation.
Right. So they're happier than they were.
Exactly,
That's
they're
what you
happy.
said.
But,
Okay.
but is that true happiness? Because for me,
Which is debatable. That's debatable.
Okay,
That's a good point. That's an argument that I accept that.
I'm with
I
Taj on
accept
this.
that.
I'm with
So-
Taj.
Because I personally feel that as humans, like, I truly believe in spirituality as well, and I truly believe that as humans we are not meant to be on our own.
Sorry, did you say spirituality then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Mike,
telling
you're getting
I'm-
shut down
I'm
tonight,
te-
you know.
I'm telling you, a man's email
You're getting
people,
crystals for Christmas.
His email people, his WhatsApp people. Like, listen, I need
You know what I'm gonna get
to
you?
make
I'm gonna get you free.
You
I'm gonna-
mention
I'm
spirituality.
gonna get you free crystals, yeah, and I'm gonna get them cut into MMA. You know what I mean? Have it as a chain around your neck.
This guy's hilarious. This guy's hilarious.
But going back to what I was saying, I
Yeah.
truly believe that we are not, as humans, we're human. We're not meant to be on our own. We're meant to have, you're meant to feel love. You're meant to feel companionship. And I remember someone
You're meant to
said
feel
on
the stress
Facebook,
and the argument and the long
I
term.
don't believe that we're meant to be lone creatures in
Right.
this world who, I think that brings on mental health issues. I think that brings on anxiety in us. And I think just us in a whole, even if I live in London, and they talk about, where the biggest city with how many people, but that, the death rates of people committing suicide and loneliness and all of that is huge. And it just goes to show that we're not meant to be on our own. So this, I think it's a facade. I think it's just something that we're
There's
sort
something.
of like put on us as humans as well, is that,
Right.
when we're never allowed, none of us, men and women, we're never allowed to be vulnerable. We're never allowed to actually say, I want to actually be like what you guys were saying, to actually say that you want to be in a relationship.
It's almost like
kinda
you're
get
weak.
side-eyed.
It's almost like you're weak by admitting it.
Yes, it's
I
like-
don't get that.
What, admitting
when
that you
really
want
and
to be in a
truly
relationship?
that shouldn't be.
Well, actually, I get it, but it's bullshit. Admitting you actually want to be in a relationship, like some people feel as though by admitting that, it's almost like it's a sign of weakness. That's
Yes.
bullshit, man.
So there's
you
a
want to
couple
be
of
with someone, you want to be with
Right,
them.
I hear that. So there's a couple of things I want to I want to go back to something Taj was saying earlier. So when we were talking about introspection, self-reflection, self-critique, all those things, and we were saying that typically only happens after you've left a bad relationship, right? And I think there's a reason for that, because when you do leave that relationship, you want to know what happened, what went wrong. Was it me or was it with the person? Right?
Do you know something? No.
Sometimes you just grow out of relationships.
Yeah, right, but
it doesn't always.
right.
It doesn't always. You know, the reflection on, you know, the last relationship and it being bad. Sometimes you'll come out of the relationship and that's just what it was at that time for both of you.
Would you say that person who just thought, we just grew out of this, is more likely to self-critique than the person who the relationship was went kind of pear-shaped and thought, okay, what went wrong here?
I think both.
Okay, so let's say it's both, but I'm saying that typically it's and this is just, I know it's anecdotal, I haven't done any research on this, I've done no surveys, but I personally have the belief that most people would do that self-reflection once they have ended a relationship and think, okay, what's gone on here? What did I do? How can I work on myself?
How do you not come, if you're coming out of a relationship, how do you not reflect?
But there's people who think that they were
Michelle.
fine. There's people who think that they were totally in the right.
Now this is the thing, Michelle.
How do you not
You're
reflect?
saying that, and this is who I'm becoming.
Out of a long-term relationship.
No, Michelle, wait a moment. I'm having a moment. I'm having a moment here,
okay.
Michelle. Right. This is who I'm becoming. Yeah? I need to get some, you know what, next week. And this is the thing. You say that because of how you are.
Yes.
But not everyone is like you. So you come out of a situation and you'll reflect. I can honestly say, I've come out of relationships,
Kept it
and the
moving.
only time I reflected was when I got into a new one and I'm talking to someone and they're saying, why are you doing that? Why are you moving like that? You can't be, that's not how a relationship is. And I've sat back and I thought, rotted, this person's right. So the case is, you're a certain way, I'm a certain way, Mike is a certain way, but we're not all the same. And the thing is, Michelle, a lot of people, what I said earlier, they don't want to step out of themselves and look at themselves for whatever reason.
Sorry, could we also discuss the fact that sometimes when we discuss these situations, like what Michelle said, it's always on the woman? Because I've been in some relationships when the men have been horrendous in the sense that they don't know how to communicate, they're narcissists.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they never reflect and they go from one relationship
That's
to the
what I
next
just said. I just said that was me.
And they
I just said that was
do
me.
the same
Okay.
thing.
I've just admitted.
Yes,
And
caught it, girl.
I've said that was me as well.
Yeah. Listen, we're not scared to talk the things here. You
I
know,
would say, Mark.
you know what I mean. Listen.
I would say, Mark, when I first sat back and took a look at myself, is the story I say over and over again. When I walked into my house one day, and my fiance had left nothing but the carpet in the house, and I said, "Oh shit!"
We're gonna have a car. You know what? You've mentioned that a few times, and so we're gonna. I will have a bit of a cover about that.
And I had to sit down and go, "Hang on a second, what went wrong here?" And I had to look at myself. You know what I mean? And from then, I sit back and I think about things, and I don't do it all the time. It won't be instant all the time, but a lot of the time I'll sit back and I'll be like, hang on a second, maybe I was wrong there, or maybe this happened, or
I think most men keep it real. We never look at ourselves. We
think so?
No, we don't. We don't, Mikey. And I think most men probably don't look at themselves.
yeah, you know what? You're right.
I think most men
I'm thinking about some of the people I know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about someone real close to me actually.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking sometimes I'll be like, yo, brother, what are you doing? And man's like, whoa.
I think most men don't look at themselves because a lot of men, sorry guys, don't take relationships seriously. I think women take relationships much more seriously than men. And I think when a man matures mentally, or he meets that one person that makes him say,
Bumbucklad.
that is, you see, by the time that I'm getting sick at this thing, innit? I think that's the point where a man says, you know something, I don't want to lose this person, so let me self-reflect and fix up. But how often does that happen with men? You know what I mean? How often does it happen?
Okay, do you think that it happens? So, you know, in a relationship, bona fide relationship, long-term relationship,
Sorry, Mike.
would you say that the men or women reflect on themselves more? In a long-term relationship, this thing's been going on for a
I
while.
would hope both, but
From your experience,
from what you're telling me, I don't know now.
The reason
I
why-
would think both. Well, mature men,
Yeah.
that male friends that I have, they definitely reflect and they'll have conversations around it. But from what you guys are saying, I'm not believing that men are reflecting how women
See,
are.
I don't think it's got to do with age, because I know a lot of younger guys. I know a lot of I would say damaged older guys because of what they've been through, and maybe what they've seen, and then I find them more narcissistic than the younger ones.
See, I can only reflect from the male
younger
friends that when I had said that was only from the perspective of the male friends that I have that have done the reflection and have spoken to me. But in general, you guys would have to answer that question because I don't know.
Can I just ask the caller a question? I want you to elaborate when you say narcissistic.
Okay, so
Are you talking from an experience that you've had?
Because sometimes we hear some of these terms and we're not specific with them.
I think I've had, and maybe plenty of other women have had, in terms of it. It's a narcissist when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, it's really weird because you actually think that they're the best person in the world, but you don't realize that actually they're reflecting onto you. So I was in a relationship where only now that I've come out of it, I can truly say that actually it was slightly abusive, mentally abusive, because it was the thing of walking on eggshells, not knowing where, who, what, you are with that person, but they would make you feel like you were on top of the world.
Right.
1 minute, and then make you feel like you're at the bottom the next.
So
in the same space,
right,
like amount of time, if that makes sense. And it was very much a relationship that was based on what he wanted. So the expectation, if I had expectation for him, it was but his expectations for me were extremely high.
Right. So is that where you would say that the narcissism came in? That was the narcissism, the narcissistic aspects of the relationship.
Also, the I would say the trust issues, but it wasn't necessarily. He would put those trust issues onto me to say that's not my problem because I trusted him 100%. It was his issues. It was he had issues that he needed to sort out, but he was self-reflecting them onto me. Instead of
he had trust issues with you.
Himself out and sorting him
he had trust
head
issues.
out.
He had trust issues when it came to you.
Yes, and I didn't give him any reason to have. So it made me feel on edge because I was like, hold on a minute, I 100% trust you. I've never given you anything for you to not trust me.
The thing is, though, a lot of the time when men have trust issues, it's because that they're messing around themselves.
Well, that's what in my head I was like, you think you're those people that whatever they're doing, they're self-reflecting, they blame you.
Come on, Marcia's in the comments blowing up. Marcia, stop blowing up the comments, man. She's blowing up the comments. She's using cap locks and everything. Marcia, the thing is, what you got to understand is we're not all the same. We've all had different experiences. So your experience can be completely different to somebody else's. It's all about understanding what people go through based on who they are.
Different perspectives.
Okay, Marcia. Right. So how long have you been single now?
So I've been single, I would say I've been single about a year.
Okay. And and just tell us what space you're in at the moment. You've kind of already said it right at the start. But
well, yeah, I'm dating. So
what does dating mean?
So I'm dating someone, and at the moment it's going really, really well. But I'm not going to say
what does dating mean.
So dating for me means that we're seeing each other, we're going on dates, and that is what dating is.
Okay, what I'm getting at is, does that mean you're sleeping together?
No.
Okay, so dating doesn't mean sleeping together. Because I'm not down with this new terminology.
No, dating doesn't
can
mean
can he sleep with somebody else and it not be a problem?
Not if you're dating
if you're just
with
dating,
the potential.
can the person?
If you are dating with the potential to get into a relationship,
so you're holding them prisoner.
If he wants to, if we're coming together,
right,
and he and depending on the time that we have been dating, but it's early days at the moment. But if he came to me and said to me, I don't feel this is going anywhere, I'm gonna date. Go ahead. Then obviously we're not compatible. Do you understand what I mean?
I think what Mikey was asking,
but
though,
at the moment,
I think what Mikey's asking is, you've stated you're dating, so you're going on dates, you're eating food, you're chilling together,
I'm dating one person.
Okay.
Right.
So what Mikey's asking is, if that one person decided
Yeah.
that he was going to go and sleep with somebody else,
While he's dating you.
does that then break the bond and you move on? What we saying?
How does that
Personally,
work?
for me, it would break the bond because I thought that
So this
we've
is
had the discussion
There's a difference.
that we're dating each other exclusively.
Yeah.
so
We've
how
had
can
that
you
discussion.
so you're exclusive.
Yes.
So this is
Getting to know each
this
other.
is where the confusion comes in for me with some of these things,
Okay.
right?
Well, no, I just think the confusion comes because people don't talk and people
Yeah.
are scared to
Right.
talk
So this is
about
so
it.
this is
Good
this is
point,
this is
good
what
point.
You've got
this
to
is
say,
what I was
can I
gonna.
add in there? You've got to say from the beginning,
all scared
as the
because-
ladies, what's your name, Taj?
Taj.
Yeah.
Taj, as she's just said,
Right.
if you are dating somebody exclusively, that is
What
a
does
conversation.
that mean then? Isn't that you're in a relationship?
Well, let me tell you now.
No,
Oh
because
my
you're
gosh.
not sleeping together apparently, so you're not in a
So,
relationship.
if you are dating
Well,
somebody
I'm gonna address that.
if you're dating somebody exclusively, no, you shouldn't be dating anybody else or sleeping with anybody else. Some people date a few people. So when you're dating a few people, you can
Right.
then be dating other people yourself, and you might even be in relations with other
Yeah,
people.
but then you would have had that conversation with
That's
someone.
May-
what
may-
I-
how
that's-
often-
That's
may
what
I-
I'm
may
trying
I
to
ask?
point out without them over talking
may I-
me here.
may I
but
ask
no, but Mikey
respectfully?
Wait a
just
minute,
won't
Mikey.
stop.
I have the question.
He just won't
It's a
stop.
question.
He just
you
won't
you-
stop.
you're going
He
on.
just won't stop.
You're not addressing the question. You're not
I just
addressing
won't stop with
There's a
it.
question
Okay.
that I have
Wait,
in
wait,
relation
wait,
to.
but
wait,
you
wait a
didn't
minute, guys.
finish
Wait a minute,
the
guys. Let's just.
But there's a question.
Guys.
Yeah, but you can ask the question when people have
Guys,
finished speaking.
Let's just breathe.
Can people finish speaking?
You finish speaking. Go on.
Okay. So Taj, would you
Just
like
2
to
seconds.
repeat what you had said there?
I said that the problem is that we don't have the conversation.
Thank
We
you.
don't bring it up. We don't talk about it. And I think that's the breakdown of relationships
Yes.
is that we don't communicate enough with each other.
Yes.
I think if we actually communicated with each other, none of these confused signals or are we in a relationship, are we not in a relationship? No, talk about it. If you're dating, okay, you've gone on a few dates. Okay, where is this going?
Mm-hmm.
Like, be straight up. It's
Yeah.
okay to be straight up. Where is this? Where do you see us going? Okay, you want to continue. Okay, let's date exclusively. Cool.
That's right.
Fine. If you feel that you don't, now you want to come out of it, talk to each other. I'm not feeling this. Okay, bye.
Yes.
It's really that simple. We have to be black and white about it. None of this faff. I don't believe in faff anymore.
Okay.
Fast.
Mark, can I ask you a
Go with
question?
your
'Cause-
question.
Can I ask you a question because the women don't want to answer it?
Okay.
What happened there?
Oh, shit, I've cut her off.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ, let me call her back.
Yes, he's a little bit rude.
Let me-
Lord Jesus.
I need to ask
Hello.
you.
Oh, sorry about that. That was not done on purpose,
Our
by the way.
apologies. let me ask you, Mark, because the women seem to be reluctant to answer the question.
Okay.
What is the difference between dating exclusively and then entering into a relationship apart
She
from the
just
sex?
answered it, didn't she?
Because if you're not allowed to do anything else or speak to any other party and all these different kind of things, why have we then got the term we're dating exclusively? What does that mean?
Good.
That's the
Mate,
entrance
Aren't
into
you,
the
aren't you,
relationship.
aren't you
That is
now
a good-
in the beginning of a relationship?
Yeah.
I'm being honest. I'm very much old school in the sense that, you know, after a couple of dates, if you're just dating me, I think we're in a full-blown relationship. But I've noticed that mindset has actually got me into
Trouble.
problems
Yeah.
with, especially with men, because I don't know what it is, but men don't like to do the whole I'm in a relationship, commit. So no, I've learned as a woman, I've learned to now not take on a man's mindset, but to take on how they view relationships. So that's why I said I'm dating, because I wouldn't want to be saying, "Oh, I'm in a
So-
relationship." when
can
it's,
I-
I
Are you
feel that
dating
maybe it's
exclusively
not
right now
quite-
then?
Yeah. So I'm sort of, I'm taking a back seat. I'm allowing him to take charge
Right, okay.
with the situation. And as a woman, I have the power. If I don't feel comfortable, if I'm not in it, I can walk away.
Okay, but by allowing him to
But
take.
I'm allowing him to take the lead in the sense of he brought up the conversation about dating exclusively.
Right, okay,
Cool.
I get you.
He took that stance. Okay, and I continued it.
Right. Okay.
You see, this
I'm
is
still
this is no, because it's new to me. Like I don't know. I've never been in this ground where we're kind of in between being single and we're kind of I'm old school. I'm old school. Relationship.
I'm old school. But this is the thing.
I'm
though.
old school as well, but I'm just saying I've.
That's not to say that you jump into the relationship.
Yeah, we're not saying you're right. Taj.
And seeing how people are.
Yeah, we're not
saying. I'm realizing that people don't really like to use the term relationship so early on when you're dating someone exclusively. For some reason, it scares people. I don't know why. It doesn't scare me.
No, Taj, we're not saying you're right and wrong by the path you're taking. What me and Mikey are saying is we're old school. And if I think back to back in the day relationships, you see someone, you like them, you might go out for a meal, you enjoy the meal, you enjoy their company, something might happen, something might not happen. You see each other 2 or 3 more times, and then it's just
you kind of knowing it.
Yeah, you just know.
So would you say it's a relationship even if you're not having sex?
No, definitely not.
Really?
Hell no.
I beg to differ.
Hell no. Wait a minute, Mikey. No. Wait a minute. You can't tell me. You can't tell me, Mikey.
The reason why
Mikey, I know what you're like. Mikey, you cannot tell me until you've sampled the goods. It's a relationship.
I'm going to show you something. You know my eldest son, his mum.
Yeah.
Do you know I didn't sleep with her for about 4 or 5 months while I was with her?
Okay.
And we were in a relationship. And I couldn't for the life of me understand what is going on.
Again? Oh my God.
Understand for the life of me why I couldn't lie down in a bed with this woman. You know what I mean? We ended up being in a relationship for about 8 years.
Do you know what? I'm going to move the phone away because I keep pressing the off button. I've put it to the side of me. Sorry.
We ended up being in a relationship for about 8-9 years.
Yeah.
And we've got, we're not together anymore. We get on, and we now have an almost 17-year-old son. But what I'm saying is, we were in a relationship. You know what I mean? So for me, the sex doesn't determine whether we're in the relationship or not, because you can just have sex with anybody and not in a relationship.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Until you've
and people in the relationships for how many years, and then they haven't had sex for how long?
Do you know what? I keep doing a madness to Taj. You know, Taj, are you there? Call her off again.
Disrespects Taj. You know what?
I'm gonna call her back one more time.
A disrespect.
You know what? It's the white room.
You know what? I think communicate.
Sorry, Taj. You know what? I've left the phone alone. I haven't unplugged the cable. It's to the side of me. Apologies.
Oh my goodness, he's a bit naughty, isn't he?
It's the white room, man.
So I believe I'm with Taj when it comes about communication. So whether you are in a
now you see, it's not me. It's her.
It's your phone.
No, the phone's fine. The phone's fine. It's not me.
Oh, okay.
It's not me.
It might be on her side. So
fine.
what I was saying is communication is key. So if you are dating, I guess at the very beginning, you need to make it clear that you're dating. If you're dating and seeing a few people, because that seems to be a thing now. Not for me, but it's a thing now. And then people date multiple people before they decide to make it exclusive. Then they move into exclusively dating. And then after a while, that then becomes a relationship. That sounds like there's a process here. You know, the procedure is to start here and we end up here and we move on to here. It's very different, but communication seems to be the key.
We're going to try one more time. Right, so let's just see if it cuts off.
I was saying that I agree with you, Taj.
Yeah.
In regards to communication. So when you're communicating with somebody from the beginning, you're clear on what the status is. We're dating, we're in a relationship, or we're in a situationship, or you're in a entanglement.
Because I don't think there's anything wrong in getting with somebody and actually saying, you know what, our relationship is not what I want, but this is what I want.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yes. Just be clear.
But I think if you're clear with it, it's like with guys, I always say to my guy friends, don't pretend to be in a relationship with a girl if all you want is a booty call. Be honest with her and allow her to decide whether or not she wants to be that or not.
Yeah.
That's a great song by Blackstreet, actually, Booty Call, wasn't it? Do you remember that?
It's a booty call.
92, 93. Blackstreet.
Because there's some women out there that that's all that they need right now in their life.
I have a friend. She has somebody that she calls Dial-A-Bonk. Whoever the hell Dial-A-Bonk is.
Sake.
Yeah, his name is Dial-A-Bonk. I'm like, what are you? And she's real serious. This Dial-A-Bonk, and that's what it is.
Now,
she doesn't want it to be
you know something. You've raised a great point there.
Oh dear.
you've raised a great point, because a lot of people who are saying, I'm happy single, you're only happy because you've probably got
situationship.
Yeah, you've probably got a side piece
I
whereby
disagree.
you know once little Tyrone goes to bed, you sneak him in. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, if you remove sex from the situation, are you still fulfilled? Because a lot of people saying, yeah, I'm okay. You know what I mean? But sneaking a man into your yard when the youths are sleeping, surely you'd be much more happier if that man was
100%.
Michelle, why do you look so mystified when I say things that we know go down?
No sneaking.
Mikey.
Why would you do that? Just go to his house.
Mikey.
What's that about?
Mikey, have you ever been to a woman's house when the youths are sleeping back in the day?
Boy, you know, I will neither confirm nor deny.
Just let her know.
What do you mean is in
It's not a snitching thing.
we're sneaking in and then you go out before they wake up or something.
Go out.
Is that what you're doing?
What do you mean go out?
Michelle.
Talk about Michelle. Don't be.
Michelle,
why is
she didn't listen to
I need you to be. No.
Michelle, stop the Janelle thing.
No, I'm going to be.
He's saying that the lady will put everyone to bed, the house will quiet down, she calls you come over to the yard. And you get jiggy.
You ain't coming into you're not coming into this my space with my children there.
But
Michelle, that's you.
But you know people that have done that, and I refuse to accept you telling me you don't.
I would like to say that my friends don't behave in such ways.
Michelle, it happens.
You know it.
It happens. But anyway, the point I'm trying to say is if you remove sex from the dynamic, is everyone still happy? Because I don't think everyone's happy then.
No, they're not, because
if you're dating somebody in the beginning aspects,
no,
it's
not that.
Be that.
Not that, Michelle.
In the relationship.
I'm talking about the overall question that we was asking tonight. Right. Can you be truly happy single?
Okay, so if you're not getting pum elsewhere, can you be?
So what I'm saying is,
yes, you can. Oh, so you're saying that you have to
point.
You have to be having sex with somebody.
You know what?
You don't have
Michelle.
to be. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people who are saying, "Yeah, I'm happy single," because they're still getting the fire stoked.
You know what?
You know what I mean? Man's coming around with a metal rod. You know what I mean?
Yeah, better blown out.
You know what I mean? Blocking off the gates. You know, man's coming around at 12 midnight and blocking off the gates.
You know what, Mark?
You know what I mean, Michelle?
You know what?
Kicking off the gates.
Sexual liberation at the moment. That isn't it? It's that everyone's been sexually liberated in the sense that it's this new generation of back in the 60s with sex is so free. I can have sex with whoever I want. I can do whatever I want. It goes back to that. Sex has been liberated in the sense of there's no ties to it anymore. It's like if I
think you both make an excellent point. You know what, Mark? You know when I said to you, so just for transparency, I came just before the show started and I said, Mark, I said some of the best years of my life when I was single. I said, God damn it. And then I said being single, like I was like, of course you can be, man. Being single, best years of my life of being single and being single, this, that, the other. And but when I think about it, when I'm talking about being single and happy, you know what I mean?
Are you truly single? Are you truly
single?
I had a few friends.
Remove sex out of the equation.
You know what I mean? So as I've gotten older, I have less time for those kind of things. But what I'm saying is, when I was younger, and it's like, all right, so boom, I'm gonna put all the works done, and what's going on right now? It's 7:00. You know what? Let me pull out my phone. Yeah, it was different. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then when I'm talking about, yeah, man, times are happy. I'm thinking, actually, you know what? Now you guys have mentioned that. You mentioned sexual liberation. You're talking about, boy, you had somebody on speed dial-a-bunk.
I can't believe that, by the way.
Has any of you gone celibate?
What does that mean?
Yes.
So where you don't.
What?
I've
breaking
done,
up. That's
I've done
for the guys.
3 years of celibacy.
So what did you say? How many?
3. I did about, I'd say 2.5, 3 years. See, that's when you truly know whether or not you're going to be happy or not.
2.5 years. How old were you?
I was 20. When did I meet? I was about 26.
It's quite
25.
Old. Why,
so? None about them thing there, you know.
Boy, get me bedroom. Where's it there, Mark? You know.
Now, fair play to you, but again, fair play, like. But I think.
So I think I'm the only one that can truly say that they've been happy single.
Can I ask you a question, Michelle?
No.
because I did that. But I would still say I'd much prefer to be in a relationship.
Okay, man. Fair play.
What? It depends how personal this question is, because I feel like you're going to get.
I was going to ask about celibacy.
Yes.
You've been celibate
Yes.
for a prolonged period of time. How long was it for?
I think most women have, Mikey.
About 2 years.
Really?
No, I think most women have, because women, again, just my opinion, I think women view sex different to men.
Of course.
I think women put more. I think women put more value on sex.
Yeah. Because it's a connection. It's
Come
not
Mikey
just,
with a deep
I don't believe.
Mike is the most non-understanding motherfucker ever, you know.
See,
But
no,
then-
but
but
we're
then-
going
but then
to get into the
that goes back-
spirituality.
Because I start just thinking about the human element.
Don't
of
worry,
things.
Michelle. When I get in them crystals for Christmas, it's
I
going to
just about to
change.
say, because I'm talking about
I just think about I just think
spirituality
about
again.
people as human beings.
You're
Right, okay.
sharing spirits when you
know what I
do
mean?
that. There's a lot more to it than you just physically
I just think
getting
about,
in.
Yeah, I just
But
think about.
even in natural, even if even in terms of nature, you know, the anatomy of of our bodies, you know, we're internal, men is out, like everything to do. So sex is definitely going to be different between man and woman. I mean, men have how many millions of sperm? Sorry to be,
Okay.
That's
you know,
fine.
the most scientific term you could use.
It's
Yes.
that
Tight
one.
things.
It's that one egg. Do you understand what I mean? So, in terms of just even if you look at it from a nature side of it, men are meant to procreate. It's
Yeah, I
for
hear that
them.
still.
For us, for a woman to say that, it's like, oh God. But in reality, it's kind of true. You are meant to, spread your seed in a way.
Well, you know,
to
she
be
said
in a-
Sex is energy. That's right, Ange.
So
It's all about energies.
What was that
Yeah.
you said? Sorry, Michelle.
Sex is energy. You can't just lay. That's what celibacy and a couple of years. That's fine, because you can't just lay down with anybody. It's energy,
Exactly.
and you don't want to be sharing your energy.
Right.
Which is why the sneaking folk in your house and all the rest. And no, because
You know,
certain
I just want to
energy
say,
ain't coming over my
sorry,
threshold.
Michelle, I just want to say to our listeners who may have friends that they sneak into their home
It's okay.
after hours. I'm not
I
casting
don't
any
mind.
judgment.
Drink off the youth's
We
fruit
don't.
shoot.
We don't
Yeah.
cast judgment here on the massacre.
A mulakana. Yeah, man, use the mulakana.
We don't.
Yeah, we don't.
We
do
don't.
You're the quavers, you're the quavers. Never
have-
see you with the
I
quavers.
have
When you're in
no
the pattern,
prob-
we don't cast
We
judgment here.
don't discriminate. I have no problem with whoever wants to have friends with benefits, as somebody's mentioned in the comments, and no problem with. I mean, I have a friend that has a dialer bunk. Fair play to
I
her.
still
She
can't
does her
believe that
thing.
name. Still can't believe that. So Taj, listen. So to round this off, you've obviously said you're dating whatever. I had this written down anyway, so I'm going to ask you, what does your ideal man look like? What's your utopia when it comes to a male?
Oh, that's a hard one.
It is, isn't it?
But that's me though.
Because
I
what does
come with the heat.
utopia actually mean?
Man comes with the heat, you know what I mean? That's what we do.
I need a healed man.
Wait a minute. So are you saying that all men are broken?
Woo!
I think so. I think a lot
shit.
are.
You was doing so well with me up until that point.
You're good with me. Keep going.
I need someone that's healed because I've done a lot of healing and I don't have, personally, myself, I don't have the physical strength and mental ability to heal a man.
I can understand it from that point of view. I get it from that point of view.
Talk.
I can definitely understand
So
it from that
I
point of view.
need someone that's healed already.
Can we not say healed and just say complete?
I wouldn't even say complete because they might not even be fully complete, because then if someone's 100% complete, why do they need a partner?
Oh,
But we've already discussed this.
oh.
We've already
Because I think if we're you get men and women who truly believe they're complete and they're probably going to spend the rest of their life alone. There has to be something missing for you to want that other person. I don't.
It's human
it's
nature,
like
though.
two
It's
halves,
human nature. It's not a case of something's missing. For me and for you, from what you've said, it's human nature. I think when you say healed, it sounds as though every man out there is broken, which I don't think is the case. I think there are
Got
men.
some baggage.
No, but
I
there's-
agree. I
and
agree.
yes,
No, I
yes.
agree.
Agree.
I don't think every man is broken, but there's men. I feel like I need someone that has gone through that transition.
Yeah, got no time to. I'm not your counselor.
Does that? Yeah.
I need you to be at a certain point, mentally.
And that doesn't mean
spiritually.
healed. Like, I'm not a materialistic person, so I don't need a 6-figure man. I don't need that.
It's funny
I
you said that
truly-
actually. Remember that video I sent to you like today? That six
I
figure
don't,
man?
I don't need, that's not what I need in my life. I don't need that because I truly believe that what I bring to the table financially and what he brings to the table financially, we can grow together.
But he's got to
if
bring
I'm
something.
yeah, as long as
Okay.
you're bringing in something, and we can work together, then that's because I see it as if someone's on 35k and I'm on 35k, that's a household income of 70,000. Do you understand? I look at it like that. I don't look at it as in I have mine and he has his. I truly believe that if we are a partnership and if it is soul ties of whatever people want to say, then we come together in that way. But I need someone that's mentally
Mature.
and emotionally healed and mature. Because I don't have the I don't have the mental space to be able to heal.
That's cool.
Somebody.
What I'd say is, if it doesn't work out with the person you're dating, holla, come in, couple boy them, you know what I mean, and they're looking for a nice woman like you, Taj. You know what I mean. So Birmingham man, keep it real as it is. You know what I mean. So if it don't work out, just let a brother know, and we can hook you up. Mikey knows a couple good guys. B21 and all that. You know what I mean?
Can I set up a dating agency?
Oh God.
Can I just ask you, Taj,
said-
before you come off the line, and you two while we're here, when you say healed or complete, what do you mean? Just to
That's
if you
exactly what
can
people say.
paraphrase or quickly just give us a summary of what you mean by healed
I
or.
need some. How can I? Oh, it's so
But
hard.
I can give an example. So, I went on a date with somebody.
Oh yeah.
And they had been dealing with some stuff, some family stuff, and great guy, really nice. However, he had some stuff which he needed to heal from. And I didn't have the patience or feel like I had the time. I thought there's far too much going on in my own life to deal with your stuff. You need to deal with your stuff.
Right.
And I guess the word heal from what's going on or has gone on previously to me before we can even think about a second date. So that was peace.
Would it have been fair for him to have done that with you if he had thought there was something and just been like, boy, I ain't got time to hear you talk about that shit, and just been like,
I don't know about this healing.
You know what? To be fair,
would you have been like, oh yeah, cool, now I hear you because I need to heal?
You know what I feel like? I feel like we sat at Jada Pinkett's red table.
It is a bit of a red table moment.
Healing and entanglements and shit.
You know why I asked this? And sorry,
We just need the crystal ball in the middle of the room.
Some twinkles.
the reason I asked this is because a lot of the time, as guys,
Season.
As men, it feels like we're obliged to be able to sit down and support our women through certain things and issues, but then when we come with something, they're like, boy, I ain't got time for that shit. You need to heal.
I wouldn't say that. It depends on what the stuff is. I just felt that I didn't have the time and patience for it, so I had to be honest, and I thought that would be somebody else. However, you meet people for reason, season, lifetime. So sometimes I have met somebody, and you're talking to them, and they become great friends because the date that's not what it was about.
Yeah.
You come into their life, and they're dealing with something, and you help them deal with what they are dealing with, and you may then become great friends, or it might just be a season, and you keep it moving.
So you just friend zone that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Listen,
people get
Taj, we're gonna let you go, but just to summarize, do you believe you can be truly happy single?
No.
Oh,
Thank you very much for your input,
Thanks,
and
Taj.
You're welcome.
we'll definitely catch up soon. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Definitely.
All right,
Bye.
see
You're
you later.
welcome.
See you
Bye,
later.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Take care. So, yeah, I agree with
Shout
you.
out to Taj on the check-in.
Yeah, some points I was with, others not so much for with so much.
The
but
thing is, Taj is talking from her personal experience,
Absolutely.
as we all are.
I think most of us
And-
are.
So we can't dispute that. It's hers.
Yeah. But then the thing is this, even though I talk from my personal experience, I still now try my hardest to see it from other people's as well,
Yeah,
which
that
I think is
helps.
very, very, very important.
Yeah.
I agreed with a lot of what she was saying. I didn't like the term healing because it implies that men are broken.
Well,
I think that
doesn't imply you're
both
broken.
ways.
It implies you're sick. It
Yeah, yeah. Which I didn't like that term. Just keeping it real.
implies you're wounded. There's a wound there that
Keeping
needs
it real.
healing.
Love her to bits, but I didn't like that
Sometimes
term.
it is a wound though, because that particular person, they were wounded.
I've never felt like I needed to do any healing, because for me to do healing, it means that somebody or something happened to me that damaged me.
But you're so cut and dry, so you ain't got
No,
no
Michelle.
wound
No,
then.
no. That means that somebody was able to damage me to the point where now I can't operate correctly.
That's
That-
what
that-
happens
that
to
happened
some
to me.
people.
That's what
Thank
That has
you.
happened to me.
Thank you
No,
for saying that, because it happens to people.
Michelle, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying it's never happened to me.
Okay.
But it would do.
So you can't relate to the term
So
healing.
wouldn't.
No,
so
I don't like
Right,
term
okay.
healing.
Yeah. So maybe we could use a different.
Because remember what she
descriptive word
because she
for
said
it.
that all men need to heal. That's what she said.
Ooh.
Which I don't think is true.
Right.
I don't think it's true.
Yeah. Okay. So we need to be careful with the
I
use
think
of
it also
all and
comes down
most.
to environment as well. Like, because a lot of us as men, when you check some of when you check the men that you know that are quite similar in the way they behave, you know, the toxic behavior. When you check the demographic, you check the socioeconomics, you check the relationships they had with parents and all those kind of things, you'll find that there's a correlation between these things. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't come out. It isn't created in a vacuum.
Yeah. Let me just read some of these notes that I wrote down earlier.
There's been so many comments since
know,
we've
we're gonna-
been. It's just,
We're gonna have to go through the comments in a
amazing
bit.
At some
We're gonna have to go through the
point.
comments in a bit. In fact, what we'll do, I'll read the benefits of being single. We'll go through the comments, and then I'll read the stuff that I put about being in a relationship. So, benefits of being single. We've done the majority of them. I've put you can take self-care as a priority. You can learn to enjoy your own company, which a lot of people
Yeah.
actually don't. What have I put here? Okay, I've put a lot of people relate having money to being happy living single. As if you got all the money in the world, you can just live that wild life. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
A lot,
Especially
also.
men. Especially men. I
Oh,
think,
really?
Yeah. Men think, or a lot of men think, you know what? If I won the lottery, I'd get rid of my bird and go around the world just spending money and going on holidays and sleeping with this famous Instagram model. And that's how some men think. But then I was thinking to myself, some of the richest people I look at, they're all married. So I don't think you can correlate, or there's a correlation between money and being happy single. You get what I'm saying, Mikey? A lot of look at people like bloody hell, Jay-Z, Puffy. They've always got like a woman beside them. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I don't think you can correlate having a plethora of money to being single, being happy single.
I would agree, because the same person that I went on that date with, he was a millionaire and he was not happy. And no matter amount of money that he had either wasn't going to make me get involved in that either. It was like, you can be unhappy by yourself. That's not very nice, is it?
Okay, do you want to read some of these comments? There's about 1,000 comments. Oh my
There's
God.
a million people. I don't know. I can't even go all the way back up. I can see and just put damaged people. So I understand what she's saying.
Okay, so I'll read them out.
You gone further back up there?
Yeah, so set your stall out from the beginning so each person knows where they stand. I think that was relating to the whole dating thing,
Yeah. Are you dating? What's the status?
because that's a new one to me.
Well, the thing is, even Facebook, you can change your status, can't you? I wonder if they've got dating.
Yeah, dating. Communication is key.
Always.
Oh my God, I'm not going to read that one. I don't think dating someone is getting to know the person before you decide to commit. Sorry, I think dating someone is getting to know the person before you decide to commit to one another.
That's my understanding.
Okay, that's cool. I think communication, I think, is a big part of it. Okay, I'm not going to read that. Now, communication is key. Communication is key is a gimmick. Just because you communicate, it doesn't mean you are honest.
True. Sometimes people be communicating a whole lot of BS.
That's true, actually. Someone's put, how can you actually fully get to know someone when you're how can you actually fully get to know someone when you're dating other people?
Yeah. At some point, you'd have to whittle it down.
Okay.
I don't agree with the date. I'm dating, and it means you're dating lots of different people. That's a lot.
But I think that's acceptable.
It is,
In
because that's what's
fact,
happening.
I was watching a YouTube clip where a woman was encouraging other women to date multiple men.
Yeah, I've seen something along those lines.
2020 dating is another level. I'm old school. People are confused, in too much rush to be in a relationship. Toxic mix-up.
Take time.
Okay. Build a friendship.
Yeah.
Build a friendship and just be free. Plus, don't take relationship advice from Instagram. I like that one actually.
Yeah.
I like that one actually. Let me see.
Any forms of social media.
Okay, there's a lot of laughing going on. I'm going to scroll through all of that.
Yeah.
Marcia's put, I don't know about that, no nookie. I don't mind waiting, but if a man ain't trying it on, something's wrong, trust me. Okay. Reese has put, do people still ask the question, I like you, do you want to make it official? Or when you're dating, are you automatically in a relationship? I think she meant to put. Good point, actually. Because I'm just trying to think.
When do you go up to the next notch?
I've never ever said to someone, so this is now a relationship. Then it just automatically happens.
So
but I suppose nowadays, I think you
need to be. People want to be clear, don't they?
Yeah, I've never said that.
Yeah.
So I know I just comment, but on that point there, I've actually got into like heated debates with women over that because my point is, when you start asking me that, I feel like you're pressuring me. Like, let's just let this thing be organic and it will flow into the relationship, because that's how I always knew, like what you said, it just flowed into the relationship and it just felt natural. We're in a
but
relationship.
some people have a problem with titles though.
Yeah,
so like when you're being, this happens, being out and somebody introduces you, when they introduce you, your eyes open wide. Like,
This is my...
this is...
Friend.
This is my other half.
Yeah, man. I'm
my
not, don't force all that on me, man.
Rachel's just put but she put it previously. Too many terms and labels.
Yeah.
Yeah, too many terms and labels.
Yeah. I'm old school and getting confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deanne's laughing about dial-a-bunk. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'll be here all day reading all of those. Thanks to everyone who's commented, by the way. Please share the stream. It's 11 o'clock. How is it 11?
Joking?
It's 11 o'clock and we've got more people on now than at any point during the stream. Okay,
Wow.
so what we're saying, we another half an hour? In fact, let's just get through it.
Let it be organic.
Let's organic, yeah. If you're locked in, please share this stream. And once again, let's big up the sponsors.
Yep.
The ones that supplied us with the food, or should I say the sweets and the alcohol. Grapevine off license, 126 Hawthorne Road, Birmingham, B44 8BX. So that's in the King's Landing area, the Grapevine. Shout out to Ez and shout out to Brad.
Yeah, shout out to my brother Brad.
So we spoke about the benefits of being single. Let's talk about some of the benefits of being in a relationship. So I've put for number one, practical help. At a basic level, it's helpful to have people you can rely on to be there for an extra set of hands of expertise. So what I mean by that is, let's just say you're in the yard and you want to move the sofa or paint, or, you know what I mean? Just having somebody like next to you, it's just nice. An extra pair of hands, you know what I mean? Not in the wrong. There's been many a task that I wanted to do, and I know if I had somebody next to me motivating me, I would have got it done already. But you say, you know what I mean? I'm just in the yard, I'm just like, you know what I'm trying to say? So having that person next to you in a committed relationship all of the time, I believe that will help. Social support. So people by nature are social beings. So whenever we want to celebrate good news or pour out our distress, we feel supported when we believe someone is truly there to offer a listening ear or some sage advice.
Okay.
What, and they're talking about that from their partner.
What I'm saying is, these are some of the benefits of actually being with somebody.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. You feel valued, which I think is a massive one. For some people,
And appreciated.
some people don't need it, and others do.
So you think that just the
problem.
fact that they're in the relationship, they feel valued.
Yeah, because a lot of people, just my opinion,
Right.
because they're not in a relationship, they don't feel valued. And a lot of people look at themselves and say, what's wrong with me?
Right.
Why don't I have someone?
Okay, I got you.
You see people do all of the time where they'll post up a clips from, is it the Undateables on Channel 4?
And then-
Or Jeremy
But
Kyle?
I can't get a text back.
You know Jeremy Kyle, when there's like one tooth in the mouth between the two of them. Look, they've got a relationship. Why can't I get one? You know what I mean?
Some
You know,
people
it's-
do need validation from being in a relationship.
It's
You're right.
funny though, because for me, I can be in that relationship and not feel valued.
Oh,
I've been in a situation where
I agree.
to the point where I was like, yo, because I'm a person where, see, if I'm in a relationship, like I'll just do things for you, like gestures, like I'll be thinking of you all the time. So I'll go somewhere and I'll say, oh, you know, Michelle will like this. Actually, these flowers. Oh, I know she likes these flavor crisps. Like even if it's the tiniest thing, and that's it. Person, yo, when was the last time you bought me a Snickers bar?
got one in my handbag.
When
if you
was the
like.
last time? Just anything you like, just any gesture where I came into your mind, and I can see that there was a thought of me, and the person staring at the wide, so looking.
Yeah, but this is the thing, no, Mikey. People show value in different ways.
Right. So then it came on to, so where, like, show me how. When have you thought of me? And if you can't just tell me, I don't feel valued. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So a call.
How can I feel valued if if this relationship is all really you feel all the benefits of the relationship and I'm just yes sir. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Because this thing, like I've said to you before, I don't believe in 50-50. It's meant to be 100-100. Yeah. So I'm saying to you, yo, where is the reciprocity? Because now I start thinking of the pros and cons of this thing. I was thinking, hang on a second, what am I getting out of this?
I guess
especially if Pum Pum now run.
Oh Lord. So,
because you know that happens sometimes. Remember we were talking about it before.
This falls back to when we say, can you be truly happy single? But can you be truly happy in a relationship then?
Right then?
So the happy is fluid. Who said fluid?
Fluid.
Who said that, Liz?
That was one of the callers, right?
Oh, was that
that's my new word now.
That was Liz, right?
Yeah, so
Liz.
it is. So it's about, so when you're talking about, can you truly be happy single? Can you truly be happy in a relationship? It goes both ways.
I think you can. I think if you speak to the older generation, the way that their relationships are or were completely different.
There is that as
the
well.
older generation is you come in, your granddad's upstairs in his one room that he's got with his leather sofas that you know lie loud and with his liquor on the side.
What?
And your grandmother's in the next room.
You know what it is
But
with the older generation?
I've got to add with that, with the older generation. I spoke to friends' parents and they had said that it wasn't so easy to leave. So they've been married for double figure years. So it wasn't so easy. So when you see people married for 60 years and those times, you know, even if they couldn't make it on their own, they had to stay together financially.
Yeah, there was a lot more shame in like being divorced and separated and things.
You couldn't just leave because there wasn't the facility there to do that.
Yeah.
It's called sort of later on down. So when you hit the 80s and 90s, that women could get up and leave because there's a whole
incentive.
There was a whole benefit system there that gave single parents, and then you had the claimants and all. So we can go into a lot of the socio-economic situations, but we won't go there.
I just think,
however, but an older couple actually, the woman, the mum, actually said that to me. It wasn't so easy. I couldn't.
No,
just
I agree. I just think though, modern life and the way the world is today, it's a lot doesn't lend itself well to relationships, if you ask me. You know what I mean? The older generation, there's things that they never had to deal with that we do now.
Right. Yeah, that's true, I guess.
Do you think being in a relationship, it encourages healthy behaviour?
Can do. It depends who you're in relationship with.
Define healthy behaviour?
It could be physical, it could be mental, it could be spiritual.
Like going to the gym.
Like something, like give me an example.
Yeah, simple things like going to the gym or eating better.
I suppose it depends on who you're with again.
It depends.
I was going to say, because I'm a man where, you know, I'd half lived in the gym, and then you met me. I was going gym. I'm a pro athlete, and then you're with me, and why are you always going to the gym? Well, you met me when I was going to the rotted gym.
Yeah, I don't like things like
What's
that.
wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you met somebody a particular way, why on earth are you trying to change them into something else?
You know what I mean? So them kind of foolishness.
Someone's put in the comments the older generation weren't loyal. Grandmas with enough baby daddies and granddad raising them all on his own.
Hey?
That's what they've put.
Wow.
Yo, listen, don't think that just because grandma's 78 years old now, you know, she never run jacket back in the 70s. You know what I mean? That happened.
Not my grandma.
I'm just saying, like, it's happened with people, so people need to, like, we need to be realistic about this thing. This thing never just happened and appeared.
You know,
that just doesn't sound right.
You know what I mean?
That just don't sound right.
So the one thing for me, and I mentioned it, it was either 2 or 3 podcasts ago, where when I got into a serious relationship, a big thing that was taught to me that I'd never done was just doing shit. Do you know what I mean? And I think we talk about memories and experiences.
It's like going experiencing things. Even the simplest thing could be just sitting down and, yo, we're going to watch a movie tonight.
I never used to do that shit. Like, I just thought, you know,
Right.
you
So-
with someone, just sit there
Right.
and watch Coronation
All right,
Street
then.
or whatever.
So my brother,
So
as
what
opposed,
didn't you do?
as
So what did you
opposed
know?
to going on holiday with someone,
right.
and let's say taking a day trip somewhere, or let's go on a tour somewhere, and like, don't get me wrong, you can do that stuff by yourself,
Right.
but when you're doing it with someone,
I know people that
Yes.
I know a woman right now I can think of at the top of my head that does
Yeah.
all that shit by
But
herself.
what I'm saying is, when you're doing it with someone,
Yeah.
and that's your special person,
Yeah.
I'm pretty
It's
sure
different.
you're gonna feel it different.
It's
than doing it on your
You
ones.
think so?
Yeah,
I,
man.
I, I
I'm
have
trying
a
to
friend
think.
that holidays by
I don't think
herself.
I've ever been on a holiday with a significant other. I've done other things like day trips and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah, I mean that was good. But what I'd also say is I've been in situations where like it started off like that, and then eventually down the line. And again, like I said, I'm a man where I'm always like, yo, let's do this and yo. And again, that's from the experiences before. So I'm trying, and it'll be like, yo, I thought that maybe we can watch this movie, and yo, I thought about maybe we can do this, and then you're realizing like, hang on, this person ain't on none of this, yo, what am I doing here? Yeah, man.
Oh dear.
And you're thinking to
I
yourself,
thought
what's
women
going
like.
on
I
here?
thought women liked that.
They get
you know?
complacent because they think that, well, I'm there now, so I'm just have to accept
You know,
how he is. So, and I guess that there's situations where
Come on, ladies. in the
men
comments. No, we
behave.
like
But
this.
I'm saying, but I'm sure there's situations where women experience the same thing. But I'm saying, I've experienced
even
it.
though it's probably obvious from the way that I'm talking, I don't believe you can be truly happy on your ones. But I think there are people out there who are just selfish, but not in an evil way. They're just selfish, and they're
Don't want to
they're
share.
not built for relationships.
Do you think? Okay, so
Oh.
I just because I disagree with you fundamentally, Mark.
I don't.
In
I
terms
know-
of
I know people like
not
that.
the selfishness, not the selfishness.
Okay.
There are, trust me, like I know them. I'm not talking about the selfishness. I just mean about the happiness, whether you're in a relationship or single. I'm thinking, is it happiness? Is it like being unhappy single, or is it just you're lonely? Because there's you
But,
know what I mean?
but loneliness and happiness are linked. That's why people go and kill themselves.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Do you know what I
hear
mean?
you. I hear you. But
I think there's too much-
can someone be happy and then but I'm lonely though.
Happy and lonely.
Yeah, can they be happy? Because you can be, you know what I mean?
Well, no.
So that would be the difference between they're happy within themselves,
Yeah.
but they're lonely because they would like to share
Yeah.
some
I'm just
things
wondering.
with somebody else.
Because you can be unhappy, but you're not lonely because you're with the person, right?
Oh yes,
You
'cause
get me? So
could
the
be in a
oppos- so
you
the
could be in a
converse-
you can be in a relationship and unhappy.
Yeah, so because you're not lonely, but you're unhappy.
Marty,
so
it's 11,
the
it's,
inverse.
it's 11 o'clock, man. I've been drinking white rum, man. You're fucking up my head, man.
So I'm thinking if the inverse is
Jesus.
if the inverse is possible, surely the you know what I mean that situation.
Yeah,
is,
I think personally, being lonely is linked to being unhappy. That's just me.
Oh.
That's just me.
No, but I know people that are in relationships that are unhappy.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
So
Michelle.
they're not lonely, but they're unhappy in the relationship, and they stay there because of the children, or they stay for some other
That's
reason.
very common.
Or they stay
I get
together
it.
because
Very
they
common.
don't want to. People stay in relationships
Kids
as well
are- kids
because
are a
they
big one.
don't want to be by themselves. I know people that
Really?
in
Exactly, because loneliness is unhappy.
But
I'd
they're
rather-
already unhappy.
I know, but I'd rather
I would
stay.
No, I would rather be unhappy by myself than unhappy with somebody.
Yeah.
But it depends on the level of unhappiness you're experiencing from that person.
Yeah,
We could
I'll
talk
be
about
unhappy
this.
by
We could
myself.
talk about this all night. Do you know what I mean?
For real.
It's one of those
It's
subjects.
a very nuanced. I mean, there's so many layers.
Nuanced. It's complex.
Mike
I
in his
think-
vocabulary again.
complex.
I think.
Multi-layered.
I mean, I still stand by. I still assert that you can be happy and by yourself. But I do understand that the human being's nature. It's in a human being's nature to want to have
Yeah,
companionship.
I
And
don't.
That's why we live in villages and towns.
Yeah.
And guess what? And you see this situation with COVID as well. People in the, you're supposed to
On
be
your
in so-
ones.
and what's not. I think from this, everybody have learned that as humans, we need social interaction. because without it, it's driving us nuts.
Also, can I ask a question? Because actually, we didn't explore this. So when we're talking about being on your own or being in a relationship, so there are people who are in relationships, but they don't like live together. So like they relate their partner maybe just elsewhere.
Yeah.
So is it the actual together, the proximity factor that makes them happy, or just knowing they have someone?
Yeah.
It's knowing that they have a special person, no matter where they might be geographically, that is
connection.
down for them.
Right.
Yeah.
And even though they might not be next to them all of the time, they know that there's a support system there, both an emotional support system there, and physical, I suppose.
Right.
And
Connection, isn't it?
Again, if you look at someone, all right, then so that's probably a bad example, but if you because remember, you obviously would have been in this person's presence,
Right.
so you've been in their presence.
Yeah.
You felt their energy, Michael.
Energy.
No, hang on. No, I believe in the energy thing.
You felt
I've
the
never
energy.
disagreed with that.
You felt
Right.
you felt the energy.
Yeah.
You're on the same page.
Yeah.
There's been, you've done whatever you've done,
Mm-hmm.
and you're down for this person. They're down for you. Just because they're not next to you doesn't necessarily mean that you're not gonna still have that same feeling you would have. In fact, you probably might feel it more because they're not next to you.
Still
'Cause
have
what's that saying?
connection.
There's a saying.
Absence makes the heart go
That's the
fonder.
one, yeah. That's the one. So, yeah,
does.
that's my
And you
take
look,
on it.
and you look forward to, because people do distance relationships. I think they're a bit of hard work, but people do them and they work.
I've had a long distance relationship, and it worked pretty much, and then it broke down because the person became jealous of a female friend I had, and I introduced them. I really wanted them to know, just because this female friend was close to me, and I was like, hey, look, I want you to know each other, and I think it'd be really good if you guys could be, acquainted on some kind of level. And boy, they just couldn't shake that I had this female friend.
Really?
Yeah, man.
It
It was a proper issue.
I've got a male friend, and his wife has become a good friend.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of hoping.
But it's trust.
Yeah, I was hoping.
If you're fully trusted, there's no problem.
I was so hoping.
But
completely.
if you move in a certain way, or if that person's moving in a certain way and it can be identified,
You know what happened,
that's
Mark?
when you have the
I'm going to
problem.
show you what the scenario was. So we went out, and it was like a birthday celebration, and there was like 20 of us. And I think my female friend was like one of 2 or 3 female. I think the other females were like a couple of cousins. And it was like,
I actually said Mike and his female friend.
and I was
What does that mean?
And I introduced. He's a joker. But anyway, I was introduced.
Ash.
I introduced her to each person. You're like, as we came by, and hey, this is so and so. This is so and so.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, this is X, Y, Z, and this is a female friend. And I was like, yeah, okay, so everyone knows each other now. And it was like the next day. We're talking on the phone like they've gone back to where they've gone. And we're talking on the phone. Hey, yeah, I had a good time. And it was like, so who's so and so? How do you know her?
Yeah, but
And I was like, so I said, okay, this is how I just explained the history and such. I've known them since they were yay high, and we grew up together. And then I was like, so you haven't asked about the other 19 people and how I know them?
But you know what it was? Do you know what it was?
What do you think it was?
It's the fact that that woman has looked at her and seen a woman that she believes is a next level above.
Right.
And you and her are connected. So she's feeling insecure. That's just my take on it. I could be wrong, but that's my take
When
on
I
it.
told my friend, she was like, what?
Yeah.
Because she actually, like, the woman had made up like a scenario, like a random thing, like, yeah, because when I went over to pick up the salad and the potatoes, they said, don't eat too much of that because when the meat comes out, and how rude was that? And I was like, what are you talking about? Just a random, and he wanted me to beef with my friend over this, and I said, no, I'm not gonna. That's unacceptable. I will not fall out with my friend over that, and it just caused all kind of arms.
I saw it go. Right, listen, I'm gonna wrap this up. So
Yes.
the way that I'm looking at this situation, I don't believe you can be truly happy on your ones eating microwave wheels
And I disagree.
At the age of 71, watching reruns of Emmerdale Farm.
Well, you might just have a companion.
I don't see, and I also think if you're single and you say you're happy, it's for various reasons. As I've said, you could have come out of a shit relationship, so you're not happy you're out of that. But I think you probably haven't had a relationship that was truly fulfilling. Because for me, that's the benchmark. If you've had that and you're on your ones, you're not at that level anymore. So that's just how I see it anyway.
Say that again.
Right. The benchmark for me
Yes.
of true happiness is when you've had a relationship that was fulfilling.
Yeah.
So if you've only ever had crappy relationships, I get why you're happy single. But if you had relationships where they were out of this world, obviously you and that person aren't together now for whatever reason, then do you get what I'm trying to say?
I'm with you there.
Okay.
I'm kind of with what you're saying, but I have to disagree because I've been in a great relationship and it was at that benchmark. And whether I'll get one at that benchmark again is another question. But at the time of being single, that was cool.
Okay, it's cool. We're all different. Mikey, what I say?
I think you can. I think you can be happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
being single.
Both.
Cool.
I do.
Cool.
But like I said, I mean, just to qualify that answer, just in case people are tuning in late, I believe happiness is a journey, not a destination. And I believe that a person cannot make you happy. You have to become happy yourself.
That's
then you
right.
join that person who should already be happy themselves
And
as
it
well.
enhances.
And then you both go on this happy journey.
Yep. Enhances the happy.
What's wrong with this Marcy in the
genuine.
comments? Why
Well, it's all right now.
she's wild, isn't it? Shut up,
She is.
Marcus. Should I get too black afterwards and we'll see. Right, listen, thanks everyone for joining in, man. Once again, we've created a YouTube channel. So please go and subscribe to it. Just go onto YouTube, type in the Mass Appeal Podcast. One of the videos will pop up. Please subscribe to the channel. You'll be able to watch back all of the old videos. And what we're going to do, we're not going to have just one long video for 3 hours. We're going to chop them up. So they'll be chopped up depending on what topic we've been speaking about. So you can go back and watch them in bite-sized chunks, whatever you want to call it. So please go and subscribe to the channel. Go on to YouTube, type in the Mass Appeal Podcast, and you'll find the channel. Once again, big up to our sponsors, the Grapevine off license, 126 Hawthorne Road, Birmingham, B44 8PX. And they're the reason why my speech is now slurred, because the white rum.
You guys have drank plenty of
The white rum has licked me. The white rum has licked me.
Thanks for the water.
I- that's what I need to do. I need to drink water so I can just keep it fluid throughout the whole
Just kind of
podcast.
drink water every other one. Yeah.
For real.
Just kind of keep it cool.
All right, people. Thanks for
You look
joining
nice. You look like you're
in.
nice.
Say that again.
You look like you're nice.
Yeah, I'm nice,
Mark will finish that with me,
Shut up, you! Don't you start, man.
Straight, there'll be no chaser in
Don't
there.
you start. Don't
You
you
know
start.
what I
Don't
mean?
you start. Nah. Seriously, thanks everyone for joining in, man. It's good when people interact as well. We can see the comments.
100%.
Yes.
There was a lot of interaction
You
tonight,
guys
man.
have been real
yeah.
great
A lot of
tonight.
interaction
Yeah,
tonight.
Love
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's really nice, man. Thanks everyone who joined in.
Yes,
And
please.
yeah, I suppose next Friday.
Oh, we're here next Friday.
man, we can
Am
do
I
that.
here next Friday?
Next Friday. Of course you're
You're
here next
having me
Friday.
back. They're having me back.
Do you know what?
Yay.
Should we have someone else as well? So 4 people. Because I think it's fair. Because Michelle felt like we was backing her up. So maybe we need another female.
I don't need anybody to.
Michelle,
you know, I'm
Michelle
good
needs
on my
backup,
own.
basically, Mikey.
What? No, I don't.
Even in the comments,
I
they're saying,
got this.
make her talk.
Yo,
I
she
got
tried
this.
to. She attempted to bad me. You know what? I won't say attempted. She actually batted me up at least 3 times tonight.
To be fair,
Listen,
I actually, she's
I
I said
gotta
last
hold
week,
my own.
she's the only girl.
Yo, I had to shut the fuck up and quietly back up.
Yeah,
Just
she's
onto
one
the
of the
couch.
only females who can get away with it, Michelle, because I've known her for so long.
Aye.
Right. Thanks everyone in the comments, man, saying that they love the show as well. Thank you very much. We're just trying a thing, you know what I mean? Everyone's on lockdown and
Yeah.
we're trying to do something different. And
Just get conversation going, keep you entertained.
you know how it is. You know how it is.
you
You
know.
know how it is. But anyway, listen, we're going to go, people. So thanks for joining. We'll be back next week, Friday at 7:30 with some more spicy topics.
Thanks.